And here we are. Happy Monday, everybody. It's good to see everyone here. And we hope you had an enjoyable day. If you're in the United States, we hope you're enjoying the remaining hours of a long holiday weekend. And perhaps you spent some time cooking out with some friends and family. And that kind of lays the groundwork for our theme today. We're going to be talking about how you can still feast during these types of events and indulge as it were, and still be strict and not considered a cheat, because when you enjoy a lifestyle like we do, of course, you can eat to your heart's content, and it's not considered cheating as long as you are eating the right things. So welcome back. Glad you all could join us. Memorial Day is the unofficial kickoff to the summer and one of the biggest feast days of the year. And if you did hang out with family, most of them right now are probably suffering. They're all carved up, they're bloated, they're sluggish, and but that's not the case with us, is it? Or maybe it is. If you took this day to maybe indulge a little bit, we're not going to criticize you for that either. But many of us have probably made the goal ahead of time to stay true to our diet, and we're going to talk about how we can do that and what works for us. And there's a lot of things that we get to cook on an event like today, and we're talking ribeyes, brisket, butter, cheese, and if you're at a family cookout, you got hot dogs and hamburgers without the bun. All those are fine and delicious. But anyway, we want to hear how you manage to navigate this day, and so let's get into it. The floor is yours. If you would like to join us on the screen, along with Jeff and Tom here, I'm going to post the link in the chat. It's always pinned on the top of YouTube, but if you're watching on X or Facebook, here's the link. and when you join us, you'll join us backstage, and then I might ask you to do a few hand motions or something to prove to me that you're actually a real individual, because we've had some incidents in the past that we don't want to repeat.
I missed the fun last week.
Yeah, I missed it too, but I heard about it.
Yeah, well, I watched everything the next day, and there were just some. When Dr. Kiltz was on, he was walking. There were some screaming and hollering, but I didn't see nothing, and I didn't know what in the world was going on until they started talking about it. You obviously had already edited the deal, which is a good deal.
Yeah. I edited out what was visually problematic, and I did not edit out that thing with Dr. Kiltz. Someone came on and played a loud noise, and since he had headphones on, it kind of got him. But hopefully none of that today. Hopefully all those people are carved up and passed out. So
some people don't have a life.
Right. So we missed you, Jeff, last week. How you been?
Been great. Back's getting better all the time. Although I worked it a little hard today, but like I said when we texted earlier, there's no holidays on the farm. It's solid work. So I did a bunch of burned 3 big brush piles today, and still found time to get into the gym, and then hook up my mower to my tractor and did some pasture mowing. So I'm ready to take a break for the day. Yeah, my Memorial Day was spent working, except for when I posted my flag on my flagpole and said my prayers for those that have passed, and we didn't do any cooking out or nothing like that. So that's just how my day went. And as far as the past week, I'm as much as I love them softball games, I'm glad they're over and I get back to this. We had a double header last Monday, and the girls, man, they played a team that I think was at the upper end of the limit for their age group, and they're all bigger girls, and they whooped up on our girls pretty bad. But the second game they played, our girls came out with a vengeance and just tore that team up, just tore the next team up. It was something to see. best they played all year. I said, well, I'm finally getting it together at the end of the year, the last season.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully they'll carry it over to the next season.
All right. Very nice. And how about you, Tom? How are things going over in Jersey?
Joyzy is doing good. Yeah, I didn't do any celebrating today, unless you just count what I ate. But I worked a little bit, worked for about 4 hours, like I've been doing, and got paid time and a half. So, yay! And I had a steak, some cold burgers, and some kind of it's kind of like pork belly, but it's like the whole thing. So I just cut it up and had that. So, pretty happy, pretty full.
Very good. And how about you, Jerry? How's your Monday going?
Fabulous. Day number 3 of the big 3-day weekend. So I'm doing great.
All right. Very nice. Yeah, my tomorrow is going to be light duty, but yeah, it's been a 3-day weekend for us too. So very nice. We had a karaoke party on Saturday night with about 18 people in the house, so that was fun. And my wife made meatballs in a crock pot, and then someone brought a cheese tray, and so that was pretty much what I ate. There's still leftovers down there because people brought over weird dessert concoctions and cookies and things like that. I didn't touch any of those. Someone did bring over a fruit tray, and I did sneak a couple strawberries. So that was my Saturday. Today, we did absolutely nothing, just like everybody else so far. Yeah, my family doesn't really get into these get-togethers or anything. So my wife's been kind of feeling funky today, so she's just been laying around. And I've been trying to catch up on work now that I've got a day off, catch up on the office side of things with my tile business online. And and for dinner today, I had it's fajita seasoned beef, but it comes we got it at Sam's. It comes in a package and it's seasoned. So we put it in a crock pot so it could get to a nice and tender where we could shred it apart. So we shredded it, and then I put it on egg life wraps with sour cream and cheese. That was my dinner, and that's what I was inhaling prior to coming up here.
Sounded good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was mighty tasty. So
yeah, my supper today was a combination of heart and some tablitas, which are Mexican style cross-cut ribs, and a little bit of burger, but mostly the heart.
All right. Very good. Well, I'm glad you could all join me on screen tonight. And again, those of you who have been on screen before, you're always welcome back. And here we go. Speaking of which, I speak and they come. How you doing there? How you doing?
Hey.
Against the grain.
Love it.
Or against the grain.
Against the grain.
Missing a T there. Oh, unless you're combining the T from the word the.
Yes.
Okay. All right. How you doing?
Well, I'm just getting ready to go back in the house. Just happened to notice you're on and want to say hi, everybody. Happy Memorial Day.
Yeah, it's you too. So you get the day off work, obviously.
Yep, paid.
Mhm.
Just I'm loving it.
All right, very good.
But just sticking to my eggs. That's it. 18 eggs a day.
All right. How long you been back on that?
About 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. But I plan on doing this probably until the end of the year.
Mm-hmm.
See where it goes.
All right.
I'm trying to get, because I'm at an impasse with weight, and regardless of what I do, and beef is so damn expensive that
Yeah.
I'm not going to pay $7, $8 a pound for a hamburger, and it's just ridiculous. So I just want to see how far I can go with eggs.
Best food there is.
Mhm.
And I took what's his name? Come on, who's a surfer doctor?
Paul
Saladino.
Saladino.
So,
Yeah, Paul
Oh.
Saladino. I took his advice on when he did the reviews on the salts, and I got that Diamond Kosher salt.
Mm-hmm.
And I tell you what, I put probably about, I don't know, a teaspoon in with 9 eggs. Oh my gosh, I can't get enough of them eggs. It tastes so good.
Very nice.
So.
How do you like to make your eggs typically?
Well, my wife has turned me on to. I use beef tallow. I
Mhm.
put about a tablespoon in the pan, and it's. I don't know. They're like sort of like creamy. They're cooked, but they're not. They're not brown. They're
Mhm.
scrambled. But we're constantly stirring them back and forth with the spatula. They're really smooth,
Mhm.
but when we don't fully cook them,
okay.
so it's sort of creamy, which is
Mhm.
just
That's the way my wife likes hers. She likes hers just a little undercooked, where they're smooth and really soft.
oh yeah, yep. Even my dog loves it.
I heard one time when I started my carnivore diet 3 years ago that the recommendation was to when you mix up your eggs to actually put your salt in that and whip it up with the fork
Yep.
before putting it in the pan.
Yep.
And they do turn out better that way.
Yep, that's what I do.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, I scramble mine with a chopstick. It just makes it so much better.
Very nice. All right. Well, I hope you certainly have some excellent results
Oh, so
with
do
your
I.
egg diet.
Bum, bum, bum.
There's
All right, well.
there's endless egg puns. So,
Uh,
all right.
So good to see y'all.
Good to see you
Just wanted
too.
to
You too,
stop
Kurt.
in and say hey,
Hi,
All
Kurt.
right.
Always good to see you.
Glad you dropped in.
and
All right.
enjoy the rest of your weekend.
You too.
You too.
Keep us
All right.
updated. We'll see you next
Will do.
time. See you.
Good night.
Good night.
Yeah, brother.
All right. We're going to go over and say hi to some people in the chat. We got Sandy Blythe was first in the gate at 5:48 p.m. By the way, I posted this early today. I think it was in the 3 or 4 o'clock hour. So that's early. Usually I'm posting by 7. So I got this out ahead of time. By the way, if you're here, hit that like button. We got 39 people on the stream right now watching, and not many people might realize that we're live since it is a holiday. So push that like button, and then that'll send us out into the algorithms and put us in front of a few more faces, and we might get some more individuals in here. Linda Flanagan is in the house here. And then, of course, we have Tom and Jeff on screen. I almost said Tom and Jerry. I was rolled up my tongue wrong. Bacon Runner and Isabel Goyer. All right, very nice. Bill Cook says hello. And my thumbnail, believe it or not, I used AI to come up with that thumbnail. So it was just a prompt. I was like, and here's my prompt. My prompt was show a picture of what was it? Show a picture of a table full of meats in an outdoor setting where there could be a family gathering. Focus on the meats. Use a lot of red and white lighting. Make it look succulent and delicious. And and then it spit out a photo. And then I said, "Now take this photo and zoom out a little bit because I want to add my own text, below the table." And so then it zoomed out a little bit. So it's kind of neat. So I scoffed at AI when it first came out. I just thought it was like an overglorified search engine. And I think when it first came out, it
Right.
was. I'm actually like, hooked on it now.
Yeah.
I'm always using AI, and Grok is my AI of choice right now. So I know Gemini is built into everything, on my, because I'm in the Google ecosystem, but I really enjoy Grok's personality.
Well, I used it when I was having that pulmonary embolism. I didn't know what was going on, and so I got on Chat GPT and said, "Hey, I've got this pain under my ribs, been going on this long. This is the symptoms I'm having. Any idea what this could be?" And it gave me a list, and it nailed one of the things that it was. Uh, and it just kept urging me I needed to get to the ER, which I'm stubborn. I'll do what I want, and consequently, I waited longer than I tried to toughen it out, and it ended up working out. But I use it all the time. My avatar that I made, that cartoon avatar of me, I did that with Chat GPT.
Yeah, most of my stuff.
I've had some fun with it.
So I like Grok's personality. So I'll give you an example. I'm going to read this to you. Let me bring it over here in front of my eyes. So I asked it one time, who was the first idiot that thought eating lettuce was a good idea? And this was its response. Nobody knows the exact name of that first poor bastard, but we can make an educated guess. This is lettuce was domesticated from prickly wild lettuce in the ancient Near East, probably around 7,000 years ago or earlier. And it mentions evidence comes from ancient Egypt, where it was growing around 2700 BC. It showed up in tomb paintings where it was offered to the god Min, a fertility deity. Some hungry Neolithic or early Bronze Age guy is out there. The mammoth steaks are running low, and he's staring at these weird, bitter milky sapped weeds and thinks, uff it, the rabbits eat it. And so he tries to choke some of it down.
There's actually some truth to that.
Yeah. He probably spent the rest of his day wondering why his mouth felt like it was full of latex and mild opioids. The Romans are the ones that later turned it into a salad thing, and the rest is history. Mm-hmm. A long, sad history of people pretending rabbit food is cuisine.
Right. Well, I don't
so you won't get that. You won't get that sarcastic response from Gemini.
Well, I don't know if you're aware of this, but vegetarian. The word vegetarian is an Indian word. It's an old Indian word. It means bad hunter. One of the numerous survival training courses I took, one of the things they taught us, and I believe this is how early man learned how to eat a lot of the stuff they ate, was by watching the animals. Mm-hmm. And you had to watch certain animals. There were certain animals you didn't want to follow, such as birds. You don't want to follow birds because birds can eat things that their digestive system will not digest, and it'll pass on through them. Whereas with humans, our system will digest it and kill us. So birds can eat poisonous berries and whatnot. We can't. So you don't want to follow birds, but we could follow other animals, see what they eat, and whatever they eat, we can generally tolerate. Mm-hmm. Grok kind of had it right when they said, well, the rabbits ate it, Well, yeah, it was probably okay. Little did we know.
It looked like Kelly was trying to come on. It might be bad reception down in Mexico.
I imagine.
Oh yeah, he's done.
I'm sure their Wi-Fi ain't the best in Juarez.
Yeah, like I
went. If you've ever seen Juarez, I have. But
I went to put him on the screen, but his thumbnail was frozen, and then I thought, is it really him? That's how I've been gotten now twice. And I was like, okay, there's a hesitation there. He's not showing up. I better take him down. And then he went away. So, all right. Let's see here. Linda McDaniel says hi from Michigan. Carnivore Junkie says hello to the family. All right. And of course, Jerry is here on screen with us now. And trying to catch up. Here we go. I only ate succulent pork. All right.
Nice.
Very good. Pork is still good.
We've got a friend in the chats here.
I'm a big pork
Oh,
eater.
yeah, he's back.
Oh, okay. Well, let's.
Time to go.
Bye-bye.
You want to take him out or you want me to take him out?
Oh, let's see here. Remove. Does that remove the comment? Oh, no, we want to do
There
better
we
than
go.
that.
Oof.
Let's see here. Okay. This user's messages will be hidden. Sorry, John Stud. Just not listening to your mouth today. So, and you know what's sad is I think of all the carnivore YouTubers here, I was the most lenient with you and tried to give you a chance. So,
Yeah.
all right. Let's see here. Dr. Barry was trying to calm people down about that new tick syndrome. He said, don't buy the butt juice people are trying to sell on YouTube. I about dropped my pork. He's funny sometimes. Yeah, I like Dr. Barry. He is funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Lone Star.
I don't think I would buy butt juice though. That's
The Lone Star tick thing with the some of them can infect you with that, give you that alpha gal syndrome. I mean, that's a real thing. It's been around for a while now, so it's not new. It's just making the headlines lately, and I think it's spreading a bit. But
right.
But if you catch it, from what I understand, you'll have that for a while, but you can maybe try and wait it out, or you can kind of get your tolerance back. You got to be very careful though. But then there's plenty of other carnivore options to eat besides.
It's not the end of the world. I mean,
No.
there's other things.
It's going to feel like it's me if I get it. And I got a lot of ticks down here, and I live in the Lone Star State, by golly.
Yeah.
I don't want it. I don't even want to deal with it. But with that being said, I know what I'm going to do if I do happen to get it.
Right, you're prepared.
I'm going to go get acupuncture. I've been hearing a lot of people having success using acupuncture, and it. I don't understand the science behind it, but I've just been hearing that it's been working for people. Now, will it work for everybody? Who knows? But I'll darn
Still
sure
worth
give
a
it try.
shot.
All right, Meeting Wellness says hello. Good to see
Hey,
you.
Christy, how you doing?
Yeah. And then Bacon Runner says, I started my second week of carnivore, 1 meal a day. I only had some bacon and some pork spare ribs, no carbs. All right, very good.
Yeah.
See, I knew I could believe in all of you. I knew most of you were probably going to try and stay faithful through a day like today.
Yeah, I was fine today.
And if you were like the four of us on the panel who actually didn't attend any family gatherings, of course it was easy for us. But I'm curious, those of you that did, did you have to put up with that, pressure of, oh, just one bite ain't gonna hurt from any of your well-meaning family members? Or does everybody pretty much respect your choices and leave you alone?
Yesterday I went up to my daughter's place, and the kids were all eating pizza, and my granddaughter, she says, "Grandpa, you want some pizza?" And my daughter looked at her and says, "You know better than ask him that. He ain't gonna touch that stuff." And I said, "No, darling, I don't eat poison. Thank you, anyways." Now, I did go off plan today. I went your route, Bob. I plucked it. So right now, on my back fence line, I got a bunch of blackberries, and they're all coming ripe. And my grandkids was visiting a couple of days ago, and we went out there and we picked them all, and they took them home. And today, I noticed there was about 5 of them on there that had come ripe, and so I plucked them and I ate them. So that's the first sweet thing I've had, really sweet thing other than Kiltz's ice cream. It's the first sweet thing I've had in 3 years, and I'm gonna tell you what, it was sweet. Those things were good. Some of them weren't quite turned yet. They were a little sour, but I don't think they're going to hurt me none. I think I'll be just fine with them. But I instead of just hunter, I went gatherer today. So.
Yes. What is it? May. So I'm probably a month away from my cherry trees. You know, that's usually end of June, early July. I got the cherry trees. I got 2 cherry trees, and so I'll pick from those. I got to check them for worms though. So, but you know, yeah, again, and then that's if I beat the deer to it. So if the deer find them first, then I'm out of luck.
Worms are just protein. You're all right.
That may be. And then in August, mid-August, it's my apple trees. So, and only one of the 3 tastes good. When my middle one's dying, I can look out the window and like there's a ton of branches that have no leaves on them. So they might be on their way out.
I don't have any fruit trees. I got some grapevines. I don't know if they're there naturally or if the previous owners to our place planted them. So I don't know if they're domestic grapevines or if they're native grapevines. If they're native, they won't be edible. Those will be what we call Mustang grapes down here. And they are extremely sour. They will not be edible. The only way you can, I mean, when I was a kid, we used to gather them and make juice, you know, and jams and jellies out of them, you know, but you have to add a ton of sugar to them. Of course, I'm not going to do anything like that. But it'd be interesting. I'm looking forward to see what these grapes turn out. Oh, and by the way, I now have 4 baby goats on the ground. Got 3 more nannies. 3 more nannies going to pop any day now, but I got 4 on the ground now, and thank goodness the last 3 were all easy births, and mamas took care of them. They got up and they got to nursing right away and got their colostrum. They've been trouble free. One mother was kind of, I don't know, first time mother, retarded, didn't know what she was doing or whatever. She kept looking for her baby. Baby was right there, and every time we try to get her baby to nurse, we had to force her to nurse one time, force mama to hold still to let the baby nurse so she could get her colostrum. And she just won't have nothing to do with the baby. She sniffs it, she licks it, she acts like she wants to be a mama to it, but then when it's time for the baby to nurse, she walks away from it. And so one of the other nannies has adopted that baby. So everything's good, and we're pretty tickled with them. We're having fun with them. There's not much things cuter than a baby goat.
One of the one you had the other day on the live stream was absolutely adorable. Everybody loved it.
Yeah. And that one, Percy, she's just a big old lug now. I mean, she's just running all over the place. And it's so cute when she does. She, anywhere I go, she comes running to me. All the goats was out in the pasture, and I went out. We got a little picnic spot under some big old oak trees, and I went out there and I sat down, and Percy come running to me, wants me to scratch on her and love on her. So she's pretty personable with me.
Tell us about your cat, Bob. That is one big kitty.
Yeah, so that is it's part Maine Coon, so that's where it gets its size from. My cat's name is Ace, and let's see here. We got him when he was 7 from a shelter, and I think he's 13 now. And yeah, so yeah, no, he's a really cool cat. I have historically not liked cats, so when I moved out on my own, I tried to get a couple cats. They would hide and then jump out and scratch me and stuff like that. It was kind of weird, so I got rid of them. And then when my daughter was little, she wanted a cat, and so we got a couple cats, and then they would like urinate on clothes and stuff like that. So I pushed the issue about getting rid of them. And then we had another kid, and some time passed, and we moved into this house, and then the family started, bringing up, we want a cat, we want a cat, we want a cat. And I'm like, I want nothing to do with this cat. You guys can have a cat, but you take care of it, you feed it, you change the litter. I don't want to be bothered by this cat. I hate cats. So we all go to this shelter up in like the Cleveland area, because my wife saw one online that she really, really wanted. But by the time we got there, it was adopted. And so So we went looking around at other animals in the shelter, and I mean, what a sad experience that is, seeing all these animals in cages, looking for a home. And so we're looking at cats, and then there's a special room with a bunch of a section. There's a section with a bunch of rooms in there, and it says FIV cats. And so I asked, "What's FIV?" And I guess that's feline immunodeficiency virus. So it's kind of like HIV, but it's the cat version.
Huh.
And those cats are not allowed outside and not allowed around other cats, so they don't spread the infection. And I guess FIV almost never actually turns into like AIDS for the cat. But because they have FIV, nobody wants to adopt them.
Oh,
And so I asked, I was like, well, I mean, it's not transmittable to humans, right? And they're like, no. The FIV wouldn't do anything to you. It's a completely different virus. And it's perfectly safe to own one. But they have a hard time, teaching people that. So I decided to walk in there and look at these cats. And I was actually looking at one that was like orange. And I was looking at one that was like black and white. And so I opened the door to the room, and I go and I sit down on this bench. And I try and approach the orange one, and I try and approach the black and white one. And the one's scared and runs away. And the other one, every time I get close to it, it's like, so. But then this long-haired, matted one starts rubbing around my legs and purring and jumps up and starts all affectionate, bumping its head right here and everything. And I'm petting it. And it's got matted all over because of the long hair, and it hasn't been well kept. And then my wife and kids, they spot me and they come in and they're like, "Oh, I think we found our cat," because it likes me, and I'm the one that hates cats. And I made the comment, I was like, it's like, of course the ugly one likes me. So they adopt this cat, and we bring it home, and it hides out for 2 weeks upstairs because we have a dog and it's in a new place. But it finally got brave and started coming down one step at a time and just kind of looking things over, and then made its way over to me, and I'd pet it and everything. And so, ironically, this cat has become my cat. So the cat's always hanging around me. The cat always wants petted by me. It's always just hovering around me. Anywhere I walk into a room, the cat follows me in from room to room to room. And then, my daughter and my wife are like, "That's funny because you're the one that hates cats and we're the one that wanted a cat, but then the cat only wants to hang out with you."
Always the way, isn't it?
Yeah. So that's Ace. He's a male, Maine Coon, part Maine Coon, probably 25 pounds or something. I mean, he's big.
Man.
Yeah. He's big. He's not. I've seen bigger Maine Coons, but he's definitely big, and he's also big because he's well fed. So
We got nothing but tabbies, gray tabbies. And we've got 5 adults and just had 6 kittens.
ooh.
In fact, I went to try to snatch one of the kittens, but they went and hid from me. I can get them when Mama's there and she's nursing, but other than that, they're kind of wild, and that's fine. But we'll have to find homes for them. 5 is enough, but they're all barn cats. They don't come in the house. They got a job to do. They do it well.
Mosers.
Oh yeah, they've got a man. We've got a lot of rats out here, and they do a good job of getting them rats. Good job.
Nice.
We got feed and everything. Horse and cattle and goat feed and everything. So we've got to keep the mouse population at bay, the rat population at bay. They do an excellent job.
Mm-hmm.
You got a question in the chats there.
Yeah, I'm starring some here.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's it. When you miss it.
Yeah. Now when when someone's got the stage, I try and read on to the side and catch up on here. So here's.
Oh yeah,
here's
no,
some-
I do the
Yep.
same thing.
Yeah. All right. Jiffy Strange Animal says, for some reason I don't get notifications, and then Retired Rick says I don't get notifications either, and I have the bell clicked. So that's what I was gonna say. Make sure you're subscribed and you click the bell. If that's not working, I don't know what the deal is. I've heard YouTube has issues. I'm wondering maybe it's because I go through StreamYard and I don't do this directly on YouTube. I'm wondering if that makes a difference. So, yeah, if I went live direct from YouTube, would the notifications go out?
I don't know.
So
I get
I don't know.
notifications from you, so
Okay, all right. Very good. Jiffy's cooking picanha. Yummy,
gotta
yummy.
love it.
Mhm.
Good
And
stuff.
retired Rick, smoked beef short ribs.
Ooh, those are delicious.
Gotta love that
Yeah.
too.
Jerry's having beef and eggs. Meat cookies. I like that. Meat cookies.
I love meat cookies.
And the dessert is some extra sharp white cheddar. Very nice.
Yep,
Bill
I
Cook
love
says
that.
I'll be on someday. Absolutely. We look forward to it. And here's the question. First question I see them. I don't know if this is what you're referring to.
No, something from Bill actually.
Okay.
We
All
wanted
right,
to know
well-
what you feed your cat.
Okay. So I'll answer the cat question first. So the cat eats. So unfortunately, the cat does eat kibble and cat treats, and then I give it a can of canned food during the day. So that's probably why it's obese. I also don't really limit its food. And then I know that I have to exercise caution there because like a cat, the dried kibble is going to be a concoction of meat and grains, and cats by nature shouldn't be eating grains. Neither should we, but
Right.
the cat likes it, and but I've been told that it would be better just to limit the cat to canned food because the canned food is going to be more meat based and less carbohydrates than the kibble, and a cat can get feline diabetes.
Yep.
So if you let the cat go on too long, you might have to get a cat insulin shots every day. So that's literally a thing that I have been warned about by others in the past, but so far so good. So
And our resident cat godfather, Louis Lolito, is a specialist in all the cat things.
mhm.
And I think he can actually attest to the diabetes. I think one of his cats had it, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, so it is a thing. So
Yeah.
so I can transition. I've thought about transitioning the cat to maybe two to three cans a day and trying to eliminate the kibble, but he still seems to be doing fine. I was worried about a month ago. He went a couple days where he didn't touch anything for a couple days. He was feeling down. I thought, man, he's 13 years old. Maybe this is it. But then he bounced back from that. So he must have been sick temporarily.
Right.
All right. Frank asks, Carnivore Talk, Bob, what's you and the panel's thoughts on true carnivores walking around 3 to 4 a.m. in 32 months? I'm 3 to 4 a.m. I'm 32 months in and only get 4 hours, or is it age? I'm 67, 209 pounds.
Yes.
I'm 65 and I'm 203 pounds. And I'm 5 foot, almost 5'10".
Do you get up at 3 a.m.?
No.
I do, but that's because I set my alarm for that. So
Okay, so this is something that happens to me, and I do not know if this was a carnivore thing or a puppy thing, because I started both at the same time. But it could be. I've heard other people say that carnivore has made them biphasic sleep patterns. They sleep in 2 stages, and so I think there could be a chance of that. But I will generally pass out at about 11 p.m. and then I will wake up usually around 3 a.m. and I'll let the dog out, brush my teeth while I'm watching. The dog's got a glow-in-the-dark collar, and we have about an acre, so I'll watch the dog's collar move around. I'll brush my teeth, and then when she comes back in, I go to my real bed and then continue sleeping till about 7:30, sometimes 7. Now the dog's getting me up at 7, but so I sleep from 11 to 3, and then from about 3:30 or 4 till 7. Now, is that because of carnivore? Maybe, because I've heard other people say carnivore made them biphasic. Or is that because around the same time I got a puppy, and when we were trying to potty train the puppy, we would get up in the middle of the night and let the dog out. And now both me and the dog are trained to get up at 3 a.m. and have a little break outside. So I'm not sure which one it is, but I've heard. I've seen other people make videos about it, like, why do I get up at 3 a.m. now that I'm carnivore? And so I do think that it might be a thing. As to why, I don't know. But I would love to get a full night's sleep. Probably just like you.
Now,
Good luck with that.
when I do the big Jesus fast, maybe I get 5 hours of sleep, and then I'll wake up about 4 o'clock in the morning and then stay up.
Mm-hmm.
I think the most I get is like 5 myself. Like that's the utmost.
Yeah.
Even if I
And
set
then,
my alarm for 8 hours, I still wake up.
And there's a couple days a week I'll come home from work, sit down in my chair at like 5 and take a quick 30-minute power nap too. So, all right.
In the beginning of carnivore, I was running about 4 hours sleep a night. It finally it took a while, but it finally settled down. But I can't count. For a while there, I was only getting 5 hours, and now I'm kind of getting it stretched out to 6 or 7 hours, slowly but surely. But I think a lot of it has to do is we have this energy,
Right. It's like pent in.
and something. Who was it? I think it was Tony Hampton mentioned this one time as one of his videos about when you eat, what time you eat. And you can eat something late just before you go to bed, an hour or so before you go to bed, and get an insulin spike from that. And it can still be meat. You can get insulin spikes from meat. And so if you eat too late, that could be you're getting an energy spike, in the middle of the night. That's a possibility. I don't know for sure. It's not so much for me. It's not carnivore so much anymore. That's getting me up in the middle of the night, but my prostate. I've got an enlarged prostate and I've got prostate cancer. So, it's getting me up several times a night. And there's not much I can do about that. So, but if you aren't experiencing a lot of fatigue during the day, you're not wiped out, I wouldn't worry about it. In fact, I'd embrace it. What I do with my time when I wake up like that, at 3 o'clock in the morning, that's my quiet time to spend with the Lord. That's when I crack my Bible. I mean, I'm going to do devotional every morning anyhow, but that's just more time that I can spend, in prayer and worship. So take advantage of that time.
Anna, you were up early every day. Her name is Anna Jiffy.
Oh.
All righty, let's see here. Carnivore Wayne says, I'd jump in with you sometime. Just getting into watching more of the lives. Love them. Yeah, absolutely. Whenever you feel comfortable, jump on in. We're easygoing. This is very laid back here. We'd love to talk with you face to face. Meeting Wellness. We had a gathering yesterday, and I had 2 burger patties and 2 slices of bacon. My son had 2 burger patties with cheese. No one pressured us. Very nice. That's good.
Hey, I want to remark on bacon. So a couple of weeks ago, and it's been talked about in the past numerous times, but a couple of weeks ago, Kelly had a video on that he was getting prepared for his missions trip, and he was going to dehydrate some bacon. And man, I've got to try this. Well, so it just so happened the next day, or I guess next week, I made some liverwurst, and part of the liverwurst is pork belly, and part of it is bacon. And when I selected out how much bacon I needed, I had about 6 slices left out of this pound. So I thought, what the heck? I don't have a well, I've got a dehydrator that I made. It's too big to mess with something this small. But my air fryer has a dehydrator setting on it. I've got a Kasori. And so I set it in there, and I set that thing for 8 hours. Don't know if that was enough, but I set it in there for 8 hours. That's a game changer. I'm going to tell you right now, that is absolute game changer. It doesn't shrink. The fat doesn't render out. There was very little fat rendered out. There was so much more flavor because that fat was still in there. That was fantastic. Here in less than a month, or sometime in June, we're going to be making a trip to Alabama. We're going to spend about a week in Alabama. And I told my wife, I says, I'm getting my big dehydrator out, my big smoker box, and I'm gonna make a bunch of dehydrated bacon. And that stuff was, like I said, an absolute game changer. If you haven't tried it, you need to try it. Because like I said, the fat doesn't render out, and it's weird because the fat is still kind of, it's a little greasy, it's soft,
Right.
but it's not mushy. It's just
like soft, but that's about
still
it.
got texture to it. But the meat itself is crispy.
Crispy, yes.
And the two of them, it was just great. The mouthfeel, the taste, everything about it was great. That is a game changer. And Kelly, if you're listening, thank you very much for that. It was a good deal. I'll be making a whole lot more of that.
Yeah, I have an eight rack one, and I did an opening of the new machine, and then I made some, and then of course I started the trend because Mitch had to get one, and everybody had to get one. So I just won't go back to the Dr. Berry. The best way, according to people, was the Dr. Berry way. No way. Dehydrated is the best.
It is. It's absolutely. It's the best way to eat bacon, in my opinion. Now, after trying it, and what I've got is I've got a big smoker box, an electric smoker, something chef electric smoker that was gifted to me, and it's big, and I converted it from a smoker into a dehydrator for curing out biltong.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, it's got a temperature gauge in it. So biltong, you air dry. So I outfitted this just to air dry, not to heat dry. And but I can still use the heating element in it. So for the bacon, I could crank it up to 165, and but it's got a lot of racks, a lot of room. I can hang a bunch of bacon in that thing.
Right.
So it'll really work out for me. Yep, good stuff.
Dehydrators on my list of things to get. So
I'd shoot my
I've
air
been saying that for a
fryer.
long time. And over on the forums, there was 2 brands that someone recommended, but I can't remember what they are. But I know a lot of people talk about, is it Kasori?
Yeah.
I think is some of you have and really like.
Yeah, Kasori's the air fryer I got. I looked up the one that Kelly uses, and it might be a Kasori. I don't remember for sure. But I looked up the one he has, and it was reasonably priced. And it's got a lot of racks in it.
I don't remember the one that I have, but it's an off-brand from Amazon, and I think I spent $119 for it. But 8 racks, that's 3 pounds of bacon every week I eat just by myself. Love it.
I was thinking the one I looked up on Kelly's was like 135, something like that. Yeah, that's gonna be a great snack on the road trip.
Is there one called Magic Chef? I think that's what it was.
Yeah,
It's an
come
old
think of it, that's the name of my smoker is Magic Chef.
Yeah.
My electric smoker that I converted to a dryer.
Yeah, I think Magic Chef was one of them. Maybe Kasori was the other one. I thought it doesn't sound familiar though. So
And something
Yeah.
I'm gonna try. I've got. I noticed my wife got some of my homemade bacon out of the freezer, and is thawing it, and so I'm gonna dehydrate some of that and see how it works. And that's some thick cut bacon there.
I'll
Yeah,
get
I'll
whatever
probably-
the cheap bacon is on my end. I've tried both ways, the thick cuts and then the regular cut. I prefer the regular, the crisp of it.
Yeah, well, that's what I had was regular. I for most bacon eating, I like the thin or the thick cut, but my wife picked up just some store brand thin cut, and it was delicious. I had no issues with it whatsoever. So I want to try some thick cut. I know that's what Kelly likes to use is thick cut. So I'll probably dehydrate it a little bit longer than I normally would.
yeah, Tom says he uses air fryer. Bill uses his oven. All right.
Yeah, I dehydrated some
That might be it.
venison jerky in my oven one time. I will not do that again. Mama was not happy.
Oh,
Makes a mess of the oven.
that's the thing with the or the dehydrator. It all goes down, all the grease.
Yeah, a lot easier to clean up too.
Oh, yes.
You know, GFG Homestead says Excalibur is supposed to be a good one. I think that's it. I think it was Excalibur and Magic Chef that both got recommended. So, yeah, you see that it's like a tabletop countertop, and you see like, man, it looks like there's 10 racks in it. So I do want something that I can produce in bulk, you know. So I love jerky, and I would love to eat more of it and less from the store. I want to be in control of.
That store stuff is not good.
Now, do y'all know who CB Carmack is?
Of course.
Yes.
Okay, so CB sends me a private message about Jack Link's dehydrated bacon. And Jack Link's is up here, their corporate offices, not that far. I could drive here in an hour up there. And he says, did I see that yet? And I said, well, I know that Jack Link's does use sugar in all of their products from friends that have worked at the company. And it's someone that got look real sloppy, whereas Jeff's and mine and Thomas's is crisp. You get a snap to it. I do it 175 degrees for 5 hours, the regular cut, and it's perfect.
All right.
So I get a Tillamook sugar-free beef jerky at my store down the street. It's pretty decent. So
That's good. Tillamook is a good brand of cheese as well.
Tillamook. I like Tillamook. Tillamook does good. And then there's a I can't remember the brand. I have it down in the cupboard. There's a sugar-free beef jerky brand I got from BJ's Wholesale Club the other day, and it's okay, but not as good as Tillamook. So I really like Tillamook.
Sugar and soy are the two things I don't want in my meats. So that's if either one of them are in there, then it's off my list.
How about this one? Is it Archer brand, Bob? The little baby one?
I've had those before. Yes, those are okay. I've had those before. So, yeah. So the Tillamook does have gluten-free soy sauce in it as part of their brine. You know, so.
And I've never been able to find out. So it's a question I've had about soy sauce. All right. Soy sauce, if it's made properly, is fermented. So we know that if you ferment a vegetable, it takes a lot of the toxins out. Hence, we can eat kimchi, we can eat sauerkraut. So does fermenting soybeans do the same thing? Does it take the toxins out? Does it negate all the bad stuff that are in soybeans? But I've never been able to find that out. I mean, I've done searches on it. I've asked on every forum I've been on, and nobody has an answer to that. Because it's one of those things that because it's fermented, if it takes the bad stuff out, like fermenting cabbage or does, then it wouldn't be a bad thing. But until then, I avoid it because I don't want any soy in my life.
So it helps. So I just looked it up. So it helps, but just like everything else is hold on a second. I see a message that's distracting me. Oh, okay. Get some shut eye time.
Thanks. All right.
Yep.
I'll see you
Thanks
guys.
for joining. Take care.
No problem.
There's so just like everything else, the fermentation or the boiling or the cooking, eliminates a lot of the toxins, doesn't necessarily eliminate every last drop of toxin,
Oh, but if it can knock out the majority of them, then it's not
So
that
here's
big
an
a
an-
deal.
So here's an answer. Raw soybeans contain several anti-nutrients that can interfere with digestion, nutrient absorption, and cause discomfort, such as phytates, trypsin inhibitors, lectins, oligosaccharides, tannins, saponins, goitrogens in various amounts, and more. Fermentation, especially with bacteria what's the names of the bacteria, uses microbes that break down these compounds. That often combines with soaking, cooking, or dehulling for better results. So it reduces 30 to 90% of the phytates, depending on the conditions and the duration. And then the lectins do degrade through microbial action. The trypsin inhibitors are reduced substantially, 70 to 99%. And then the oligosaccharides are greatly lowered, reducing flatulence. And then the fermentation increases beneficial compounds such as antioxidants, K2, digestibility, and probiotics. So, yeah, traditional products like tempeh, miso, and natto and fermented soy sauce benefit the most from this. So, simple soaking plus cooking helps, but is less effective than full fermentation for many of the anti-nutrients. So,
That's good to know. And
yeah,
and there's natto, which is fermented soybeans. It's
Mhm.
good for reducing blood pressure naturally. I know Kurt uses that in his regimen to bring his blood pressure down.
yeah. So it says not all the toxins are fully neutralized, and there's some debate on whether unfermented soy like tofu or edamame is problematic in moderate amounts for most people. Properly prepared fermented soy has a long history of safe use in Asian diets and is often viewed as more beneficial than unfermented forms due to better digestibility and added nutrients. So the fermented greatly fermenting it does make the soybean safer. So
That's
that
good
might
to know.
not necessarily be 100% safe based on your personal physiology, your personal sensitivities, but generally speaking, for most people, fermenting makes it more tolerable and more safe. So it's still something that I wouldn't eat on with any kind of consistency, so a soybean product here or there is not going to hurt anybody. Well, I won't say that, but generally speaking, but if you're eating it all the time, then it could be problematic. Kind of like spinach. People eat spinach all the time and end up with kidney stones, or me who drank coffee all the time and ended up with ulcerative colitis, so, there's that old adage, the dose makes the poison. So,
Yep.
So in the Tillamook beef jerky, I don't mind the trace soy brine, this is soybean soy sauce that's used in the brine. I think most of it's probably washed off anyway, or cooked off. So, all right, let's go back to the chat. Terry, I made a pot of beans and fried potatoes for my husband per his request. Very good. But I didn't indulge. Also very good. Potatoes give me stomachache these days, no matter how they are cooked. All right. Very good. And you said, I just porked out. Porked out only.
Literally.
Mm-hmm. And then Jiffy says, as luck would have it, I have no family living close to me, so I do not have to deal with the rejecting of the sweet food of love. Thank goodness. Yeah, it seems like a lot of us are in that same boat. You know, it's nice to have the day off, but really don't do anything special. So, Lewis says FIV plus cats are the best. FIV positive cats are the best. So, yeah, and if you want to adopt a cat, definitely give them some consideration. So my FIV positive cat has been my favorite cat I've ever come in contact with. So I was not a cat. I won't say I'm a cat person now either, but I am my cat person. My cat is adorable.
Well, as Rick says, I love cats. They taste great.
Jerry, I think you're muted.
Yes, thank you. How do the cats contract FIV though?
Maybe getting bit or scratched by another cat that has it. Yeah, probably more so a bite. You know, because probably has the virus in their saliva, and if they bite and pierce the skin of another cat, that's probably how they transmit it. Mm-hmm. I imagine it could be sexually transmitted, just like HIV can be too. Mm-hmm. So I would imagine, since they're so similar, it has to be an exchange of bodily fluids in one way or another. Yeah. Lewis was also a cat dad to a diabetic cat. And Bill says, honestly, kibble costs more, and so is canned food. My used to be feral kitten is purely a meat eater. Ketosis, that's the name of the cat, normally gets a raw chicken leg a day, plus occasional other meats. So,
yeah, my cats, we split a can of wet food, with our 5. We'll split a couple of small cans of wet food. We feed them just enough to keep them around, and then they got to go out and earn their keep. The wife said dogs were nosing around in the brush the other day, pulled out a half a rabbit. So cats have been busy. They ain't just taking out rats; they're taking out the rabbits too.
Wow.
All right. Let's see here. Faith, Fuel, and Footsteps says hello to everybody. And the rest of the KMT family. Yes, there was no KMT tonight, though. So I guess it's going to be tomorrow to make up for today.
Her name is Desiree.
Yeah, I was going to say, look up Desiree. She's got a channel now. She posted her first video yesterday.
I saw that.
She's go check her out and help her out. Go ahead and sign on with her, subscribe to her. Faith, Fuel, and Footsteps.
Let's see if I can't look it up. It popped up in my, because I know I subscribed the other week. It popped up in my recommended.
Yeah, the first one she tried to post, all it was a picture. That didn't work. And I left a comment on there saying, yeah, there's no video, just a picture. So she got a couple days later, she got it figured out. And she got a video posted. So that worked out. But she didn't turn on the messaging. So I wasn't able to leave a message to tell her how well she did. So I went over on Kiltz's tribe and contacted her there and let her know what a good job she did with the video.
Yeah. Here it is. All right. So it's actually under her name.
Oh, okay.
Here. All right. Here she is.
Speaking of.
Yay.
How you doing, Desiree?
Hi. I'm doing good. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah.
Yes, we can hear you just fine.
Oh,
So
excellent.
Did you see the message over on Kiltz's tribe that I left you? I sent you a personal message over there.
Oh, I don't think I did. But you're right, Jeff. You were the one that posted the comment about, hey, it's just a picture. And I'm like, just a picture. So, but I'm new. So I really appreciate, sorry, I'm trying to go down some stairs right now. I'm really appreciative of you guys watching out for me, this little young grasshopper who is new to the community. Yeah. New to the community and just trying to get out there and share my story. Naturally, I'm an extrovert, so I do like to just go out and talk and do my thing. And when I was working, I was a trainer, so I'm just not shy at all to get in front of people. But for some reason, when it comes to like personal stuff like this, I'm just kind of like, I'm just gonna be quiet. And then I just realized, like, listening to everybody's stories, that, oh my gosh, like, this is something I should do. Like, I think people would want to hear this, and I think there are women out there that can identify with what I'm going through. So yeah, so here I am, and I just got done eating supper. I'm sure you're going to see that comment in a minute. I had some pork ribs, and now I'm outside just taking a little bit of a walk, and I'm going to go to bed here pretty soon because I'm pretty tired. So
How are you feeling now? How's your healing coming?
yeah, yesterday and the day before, I did some grounding work where I came out, took my shoes off, and just walked around in the yard a little bit, which I'm doing again right now. That's something that Jonathan, is it Carnivore Muscle? Right?
Yes.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, so Jonathan had, I think he put it through the KMT and maybe publicly on his YouTube site, but he had put out this PDF that kind of outlines his story and then what he does for his like routine. And so I was reading through some of that, and yeah, he talked about grounding, and I'm just like, oh my gosh, I'm a farm girl at heart. So I love running around without my shoes on, except we had a lot of sandburrs, and so that wasn't so fun. So I would have to go find some shoes because I'd be like, oh gosh, I have a sandburr. And they're the kinds that have the little pokes like around the entire thing. So you can't grab it anywhere without getting poked again. But anyway, that's a whole nother story. So yeah, when he said that, I thought, oh my gosh, I got to get outside and walk in the grass. I got to touch the soil and see if that helps with my healing. And for some reason today, I feel really, really good. I feel really good compared to how I felt the last couple of days. But again, every day I'm going to get a little bit better, but 4 to 6 weeks, they say, for abdominal myomectomy surgery. It takes about 4 to 6 weeks to kind of get back up to where I used to be. So it's a little challenging. I do try to cook a little bit and move some things around, but I'm not supposed to lift anything that's more than a gallon of milk. But yeah, I'm doing pretty good. Thank you for asking.
So there's someone
German
backstage.
Shepherds. I can't ground with 2 German Shepherds. I'm not. Ain't gonna do it. Sorry.
Yeah.
So before we move on, there's someone backstage with the username Dirtbath, and you need to turn your camera on so we can see who you are. So, and if you don't want to do that, then you have to talk to us in the chat and try and convince me to let you on the screen. So,
I am not familiar with who that person would be, but the fact that they use the word dirt in their name makes me think that they're like, oh, Desiree's out grounding. Maybe I should join the chat for the panel. I don't know. But I just wanted to jump in, say hi, see how you guys are doing.
Hold up 2 fingers like a peace sign. All right. Here we go. How you doing?
Can I turn it back off now, though?
Well, if you want to turn it back off now, that's fine. Yes. Go ahead.
Okay.
We had a problem last week, so that's why we're kind of doing the extra verification.
That's 100% understandable. I get it. I seen Carnivore talk, and I was like, these are my people.
All right. Very good. Well, welcome aboard. Hold on just a moment. And Desiree, did you have anything else you wanted to fill us in on?
No, I don't think so. I just wanted, again, you were on and I was available, and I thought I'm just going to jump in here, see how you guys are doing, make a little bit of a presence. Thank you so much, Jeff and the rest of the team, Jerry, you guys, for promoting my channel. It is a very new channel. There's a lot of stuff on there that I just kind of like borrowed from other creators just so I could kind of have something. And I'm just now starting to do some videos. So the very first video I did, it ended up, it was too late at night anyway. It was way too dark. So I'm not going to repost it. I basically like redid it last night and I posted that. And so that got quite a bit of views. I couldn't believe it. And I think I'm up to 32 subscribers now. So I'm getting closer. I can't do lives until I get to 50. So if anybody is interested in following my journey, it's a little bit about carnivore, a little bit about faith, and more about fertility. So yeah, feel free to join. It's free. Again, I'm super new. So my hope is that I can just spread some inspiration, maybe a little bit of knowledge, and connect with people who have similar situations as I do. And maybe together we can make miracles happen in this world of fertility. So yeah.
All right. Very nice. Meeting Wellness said that she'd like to have you on for an interview. She's interviewed me before. She makes it really, really easy and comfortable. So why don't you search, that's her handle,
Okay.
youtube.com, was it probably /@Meeting Wellness, kind of like just do yours, but replace your name with Meeting Wellness in the URL or click on her name.
Okay.
And
I
her
don't know
name
if
is-
that works on a
Oh, I
phone.
see
It
it.
works on a computer, but yeah.
Her name is
I
Christy.
see it here.
Yeah.
Her name
Go
is
check her
Christy.
out.
Okay, cool.
All right. Now we're gonna.
Yeah.
She
Now I
says
want to
she
say
just
hi
emailed you.
to Dirt Bath. How you doing there, Dirt Bath?
I'm doing good. Gosh, I think I need to change my name.
Hey,
Well,
it's catchy.
all right. Well, that's okay. So tell us a little bit about yourself. You called us your people, so you must be. Are you a fellow carnivore, ketovore, animal based?
I grew up strictly hunting off the land, as in the wintertime, we only ate deer meat, squirrel meat, stuff that we had. And then in the summertime, we only lived off the fish we caught and the animals we trapped. Our whole diet was nothing but meat. That's what kept us alive. And I think that's why we are so much more healthier than the kids that was in the city limits that didn't have the chance to get to eat what we ate.
Yeah, I would wholeheartedly agree. So there's a huge nutritional difference between a steak and a bag of Skittles. So
Sounds
Well,
like my
too-
sister from another mother.
yeah.
Well,
Yeah,
I brought that into my family,
Mhm.
and now that's what my kid lives off of.
All right, very nice. So you've got a legacy of carnivore diet, carnivore eating, carnivore
Yeah.
lifestyle.
And yet, and
All right.
without it, like there's been times, when chronic waste disease happened and we couldn't get as many deers and we had to live off of store-bought meat. All of us stayed sick.
Oh, that's interesting. So, yeah. Well, I guess if you're used to living off the land, then maybe the commercially available meat, would make a difference.
Mhm.
Yeah, most of us here probably eat commercially meat because I still live in city limits, and most of us here aren't hunters. But since you are, where are you calling in from? If you don't have to be exact, but we're just curious, what general area are you from?
Appalachian Hills of Kentucky.
Kentucky. Okay. All right. Very nice.
Yeah,
Very nice.
chronic wasting is still an issue in a lot of areas.
Yeah, we've had plenty of warnings about it, but then after the game warden told us that it didn't matter if we did eat one that had it, if we caught it early stages, it wouldn't affect us. Just to make sure when you do harvest a deer, it is healthy.
Yeah. Yeah, we know the areas, the counties where it's more localized in our neck of the woods, and so I haven't run across any of it myself. All my deer have been clean. My only problem is I'm only allowed to take 4 deer a year, and so they go pretty quick.
Yeah, that's exactly how we are, but we normally harvest anywhere from 7 to 12, depending on like if somebody hit a deer and they call it in and they're allowed to give it to somebody, we'll take
Yeah.
it.
You bet. Ain't nothing wrong with that.
And then we don't take it nowhere. We do the cleaning and all that stuff and packaging ourselves.
Nice.
That's what my father used to do. He used to hunt deer when I was a kid, and they'd bring the deer home and hang it up in the garage, and then they had the meat grinder in the kitchen, and him and either his hunting partner or sometimes my older brother who got into it for a while, and they'd cut it up and process it right there in the house. I've never hunted myself, so it's kind of like one of those things that it's on my bucket list, but will I ever get around to it? I don't really know. So I'm so busy with family and all kinds of other things. So
Yeah, life
If
sure
it-
does
if-
get in the way of that joy.
mhm.
If it helps, Bob, I don't think you're missing anything. I'm like mortified of hunting, so I'm the complete
no.
opposite. But man, I sure do enjoy it. A deer, a fish, or whatever. I'm like, hey, I'll eat it, but you go hunt it, and I'll eat it. That's how I roll.
Yeah. Well, I'm like Dirtbath. We grew up eating off the land. I raised my kids eating off the land. My son, he fed his kids basically just everything that he hunted and killed. And that's just our way of life. And I'm going to say at least 95% of all the meat that we eat is either what I hunt and kill or what I raise, on the farm. So we like it as natural as can be. That's the only way to eat.
I definitely agree. When I was a kid, I had these issues of we always lived off the land, but then if something interfered with it, it could be not enough deer in the population to get enough to fill the freezer throughout, whatever season we was in at the time. And we would have to go buy store-bought meat, and it would be pork or chicken or beef. And every time I ate it, I got so sick.
Yeah, I've been fortunate. I've never had that problem. I don't have any problem eating store-bought. I just prefer game meat, or what I raise myself. It's just my preference is what it boils down to. And, really, it's a whole lot cheaper. For me, it is.
It is definitely cheaper. One bullet, and you get that much meat.
Yeah.
I was thinking that the chicken and the pork, and the store-bought stuff, they're fed all the soy and the grains and everything, and maybe that, you're sensitive to that. And then I racks my brain a little more to think of this issue with the store-bought beef. They're also grain-fed, so certain nutrients are different. For most people, it usually doesn't matter. But then I was thinking, maybe if you're used to hunting and having fresh meat, maybe could it be the way they age store-bought beef? But then again, if you're slaughtering your own animals, it's aging too. So
Well,
I don't know. I was thinking maybe there's a histamine issue.
Certain animals you're going to hang in age. Some longer than others. Some you don't age. My lambs, goats, we don't age them. But my beef gets aged. My venison gets aged. So there's some of the ruminants we do age.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, sometimes when we harvest deer, you take the guts out and then you hang them in the barn for, if it's cold enough, you hang them for 3 to 4 days so all the blood comes out.
Yeah, mine will generally hang 7 days before I butcher.
Yeah, I was just racking my brain. So when you mentioned the store-bought meat always gets you sick, I'm always trying to think of what's the scientific explanation as to why? That's what
the
starts
deal.
going through my head.
What was odd is I was in a family household with 5 other children, and they would eat it too, but it didn't bother them. And I've had all types of tests done, meat sensitivity and allergies, and I'm not allergic to nothing. But when I would eat deer and fresh caught fish and squirrel and rabbit and turtle and everything else, never had no issue. But as soon as I would eat a pork chop from the store, I'd be so sick.
It's got to be an imbalance of the linoleic acids in it.
It's like my body was telling me, you don't need to eat this.
Yeah. Ain't nothing wrong with that.
I think that's kind of the main thing when it comes to deciding what it is that you're going to eat. You know, if you want to do carnivore or lion's diet or keto or whatever you want to do, that's it, man. Listen to your body. Listen to your body, because it's going to tell you what you need. And if there's things you're taking in that just aren't really settling right and you're not feeling very good, then that's probably a really good sign. Hey, maybe this isn't for me, you know, but there's so many other things.
That's right.
Well, hey guys, I'm going to roll off of here. I'm going to clean up a few things and maybe get off to bed. So thank you for having me on again, Bob. And it's so great to see you guys. And I will probably see you again in the future very soon.
Thanks for coming
All
on.
right.
Guys.
Very good.
Yeah.
You have a good night.
Good night.
Yeah, you too. Bye,
Thanks for
everyone.
coming on.
Goodbye.
See ya.
Rick says, I remember roadkill deer. I think here in Ohio, if you hit one, I think you're supposed to report it, but you're also allowed to take it. So,
Yeah, we ain't in Texas.
no?
No. Now you can call it in, and a game warden can give you permission, but you just can't take the roadkill on your own, not without permission from a game warden, or as we like to call them, the possum police. But yeah, she knows where I'm coming from.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you have to report. Like, you can't just take it and not report it. You get in trouble for that. But if you report it, you know, and you know the law comes out and sees what happened or something, and then you can say, but can I just take this home? And I think they just let you.
Well, it's crazy. You know, come deer season down here, man, a lot of deer get hit on the road, especially come the rut, you know, because they're really, you know, the bucks are pushing the does, and a lot of deer getting hit. And it's just a shame to have them go to waste, because there's good meat on a lot of them, except the ones that get hit by the 18-wheelers. Ain't much left of them. But, you know, we've been kind of crying about that for a long time. You know, why can't we keep them? Well, the general consensus is, can't speak for Kentucky or anywhere else, but in Texas, if they allowed you to keep roadkill, every redneck would be throwing heavy duty bumpers on there and brush guards on their trucks, and they'd be aiming for them. They'd be looking for them. They'd be running over every deer they could find.
Oh gosh, that was
Probably
my
the
dream
reason
when
why
I was
they
a
were
kid.
good. It's crazy Texas rednecks.
I always wanted to have a sticker on the back of a vehicle that said, "You hit them, I get them."
Hey, I like that.
But up here is the people who hit them is always on back roads, and they would have to call the game warden. The game warden knew every one of them, and they would say, "Hey, I hit a deer. Can I give this to a family member?" And they said, "Well, tell us where you hit it, and that's it."
Good deal.
And they wouldn't have to come out or do anything, but I guess they marked it in the, what's that called, area code.
Yeah.
And then we'd come out there and get it, and it would be sometimes anywhere between a giant doe that's pregnant, which is awful, but we've had 12-point bucks, we've had 10 points, and then we had occasional with the tons of drop tines. It was crazy.
Yeah, and now one of the things that I will do, like I was coming back from a quail hunting trip, come across a couple of gals that had hit a doe, and just broke up her back end, and I went ahead and dispatched the doe for her, you know, because the doe was suffering, which technically was illegal what I did. I broke several gun laws when I did that, but I'm willing to face consequences. I'll stand before a judge any day and say I did the right thing. But what we will do is call the local sheriff and let them know that there's a deer being hit, and they can then take it and give it to a needy family. You know, they'll take and actually take the deer to a processor and have, you know, the meat that's edible removed and given to a needy family. So, you know, we can get it done. You know, we just can't keep it for ourselves.
Yeah. Well, I know people who, if they get caught with the deer in the back of the truck and they have no license, they will take the deer to the Amish for processing, and then they give it out to homeless.
There you go. That's good. Yeah, I don't want to see it go to waste.
And there's been many cases of people killing elk without license, because you have to have like a special license for them.
Right.
And they would kill them and cut all the meat off and the head off and take them out of the woods and put them in their vehicle and then get busted. And then they would take that and have at the local fire department or whatever a cookout, and it would only be for the needy. The
I can
ones
get
that
real needy. I can get real needy when it comes to elk meat.
is good.
I can get
Sandy
real
mentions
meat. That's my favorite. That's my favorite game meat. Well, my second favorite. My favorite's bison, but yeah, I love me some elk.
Sandy makes a comment. Hunters here are beheading deer and leaving the body.
I
Yeah.
do the same.
That's terrible. That's
all
not
over.
right.
Trophies.
They'll hit deer here, you know, and you'll see one missing a head, you know, and it's like I can't see the reason for it, because I don't care how good the rack is on that deer. I mean, it could be a world record. I don't care. If I didn't take it myself, it's not worth having.
We was always taught you can't eat the antlers.
No, and I'm a meat hunter. I'm not a horn hunter, you know. So, I mean, if I got a 14 point with drop tines, you know, standing next to a 2 or 3 year old 8 point, yeah, I'm taking the 14 point. But at the same time, I'll take anything I can eat.
Now, I have to ask this question just because you said about the antlers. How come Costco sells antlers, and is it safe to give to your dogs?
Yes.
My dog
Dogs-
loves
Dogs
antlers.
love them.
That dog in my profile picture, that's all he has. Like, that's his toys.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, I don't leave antler. If I want to save an antler, I don't leave it laying around, you know, because the dogs will chew on them. It's a treat to them.
So they
And-
can't. It's not like chicken bones where they can
No,
get that lodge.
It's not a bone. It's hair.
Uh-huh.
It's like a growth of hair. Kind of like nails, kind of like fingernail type deal, I think. But yeah, it's just fine for them. And we do something called shed hunting, where, you know, the deer will shed their antlers every year.
Yep.
And a lot of guys will train their dogs to go shed hunting. And so they'll take the dogs out and they'll hunt fence lines and whatnot, because deer jump over the fences, and the impact will cause their horns to fall off their antlers, and they'll collect the sheds. Sometimes they make stuff out of them. Sometimes it's just collecting them for the sake of collecting them.
Yep, we do the same stuff. I've taken antlers and broke the tips off so I could make some flint spears.
Mm.
Yep.
Or I've used many times to scrape all the fat off a deer hide.
You tan your own hide.
Yeah.
I got to admit, I don't do that. I'll send mine out to get tanned. It's cheap enough. I've got a place up in Denton that'll do it for pretty cheap. So I get my deer hide tanned.
Well,
It's too much
I'm a
work.
stay-at-home mom. I ain't got nothing else to do, and I want to teach my kids something. And I'm like, get over here and start scraping this fat off. And she's like, why? I was like, because it's fun.
Yeah, that tanning's a lot of work.
Oh gosh, it make you get blisters on your hands, cut yourself, and then that deer fat turns into like Vaseline.
Dirtbath, is your dog what is it, Bernese mountain dog?
No, it's Great Pyrenees.
Great Pyrenees, that's the pronunciation. Okay, got it. Beautiful.
I thank you very much. We had to get him because we have coyote issues.
You have what issues?
Coyotes.
Coyote issues.
Oh, aha.
Yeah, so do we.
Things
You're
are
talking
everywhere
about
but
the,
where they're supposed to be.
Oh, yeah.
We're talking about the antlers. So my wife has a monthly shipment that comes from Amazon, and it's the dog's package. we even say that when it shows up, like, oh, your package is here. And the dog gets so excited. She's learned that language. We open up the box and have like, we call them blue heeler treats. There's a treat that actually has a blue heeler on the bag. That's the type of dog we have. But there's always an antler, and it's an antler that's like cut in half and wrapped in plastic. So we undo that. And she loves chewing on that thing. It'll last her for quite a while too, but she scrapes. She'll bring it to me to hold so she can scrape it with her teeth. It's kind of like getting the marrow out of a bone. There's like a little softer substance inside the antler that she really works at trying to bite and lick and get out of there. So
Interesting.
and absolutely loves it. Yeah, we've got all kinds of antlers down there.
I know at the end of every deer season, I will take a sledgehammer out to the bones that they've tried their best to gnaw on, and I will bust the bone so they can get the marrow.
Mm-hmm.
No, that's my dogs. That's a favorite thing for them is cleaning up a carcass, and the bones are gone. I mean, I can debone, toss a bone over my shoulder. The next day, I don't find bones. I mean, they eat them things up. And last year, I went by one of the processors, and they had a bunch of fresh deboned carcasses out there that they was fixing to haul off. And I said, what are you going to do with them? And they said, oh, we're just going to throw them away. And I said, let me have a couple of them. And I took them, brought them home to my dogs, let them have the deboned carcasses, which is, just the bones. But, everything is still together, the rib cage, the spine and all that. Oh, my goodness. Them things, I have never seen my border collie so fat and so sick from eating so much. I didn't think there was enough meat left on them bones to feed them. That dog didn't eat for 3 days after that. Man, and I didn't think anything could fill that dog up.
Yeah, someone wants to know if you have a YouTube channel, Dirtbath.
I have a channel, but I ain't got to 50 subscribers so I could go live yet.
Do you have any content?
No, I used to on my old channel, and then I had some issues with YouTube, and they wanted to try to ban me because I was calling out people that had a fan base.
Mm-hmm. Okay. All right. Very good. All right. Well, so there's a channel, but no content yet. Are you looking to get 50 subscribers?
Yeah, I'm hoping to one day so I can go live and, do my daily routine and show people.
We got a whole bunch of folk in here right now that can help you out.
Yep.
Do you have a handle? Is a dirtbag the handle? Yeah, that would be the handle.
If I get in the comments and make a comment, could they click on it and go from there?
Those on a computer can, but that'll also let me get to your address. So yeah, go make a comment in the YouTube comments. Which might be a different if you're on a computer. There you are. Okay, I see ya. All right, now hold on. How do I undo that?
Oops.
I accidentally faithful and footsteps. I accidentally hid that message.
Yeah, you hit a couple of them. You got Jamette too.
Did I?
Yeah. And Desiree.
No, that's not what I see. I see Desiree. That's it.
No. Yeah, I see. You deleted Dirtbath and you deleted Jamette.
Not on my end. Anyway, I can go to Dirtbath's channel here. Hold on.
And is that your
right.
channel name, Dirtbath?
Yeah, it used to be Wild Water, but I had to change it.
Okay, so I'm going to post the link to Dirtbath's channel.
Oh, good. Thanks, Bob.
Okay, so there it is. I'm posting it in the chat right now. According to my chat, all I did was accidentally delete a message from Faith Fuel, and Footsteps. Because what happened is I went to click on Dirtbag's comment, and then she made a comment, and it bumped up under my mouse. That's what happened.
Okay,
So-
well, that may be what I'm seeing is because I'm just seeing a message deleted by Carnivore Talk. It's underneath Gemmet, and then there's another one underneath Dirt Bath. And then I see Faith, Fuel, and Footsteps was hidden by Carnivore Talk. So you may not have deleted their stuff. It was just whatever was underneath there.
Yeah, see, I don't see there's nothing about her being hidden here. But anyway, I still have them here. So this was the message I hid. It says, "Hey, Christy, I got your email and replied. Thanks for reaching out." And then,
Now, Dirtbath had 7 when I logged on and I subbed to her. Right now, Dirtbath has 14 subscribers. So,
Oh,
okay,
wow.
See, we'll help you out.
I'll go sub
I
too. So
truly do
just subbed.
appreciate it.
You're
Yeah,
welcome.
Faith, Fuel, and Footsteps asks, "What is your first name?" Of course, that's up to you if you want to answer that or not. So,
No, I can't do that.
okay, all right, that's all right. Okay, so all right, so yeah,
Humidity is
you're
fine.
getting a bunch of subscribers here. So, yeah, we got 45 currently watching. So if you could go over there and support Dirtbag,
nice.
she'd love to get 50 subscribers so she could live stream, and then she might give us the great reveal of what her name is and her have her camera on.
Yay. That'll be
Yeah.
great.
All right, very good. All right, well, glad you could join us. Did you do anything special today, being it was a national holiday?
I prayed and thanked all the veterans, and I cooked some pork with some biscuits and played in the creek with my kid today. It wasn't just a normal day, but I made sure to do my prayer and thank them all.
Excellent.
I got to step
right.
out for a minute. Speaking of coyotes, I got to go put goats up.
Okay. All right. Faith, Fuel, and Footsteps says, "I can still see my comments in the chat." Yes, you would be able to. I can see them too, so I think everybody else can.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. I as soon as I realized I hid you, I went and unhid you. That was just a complete accident. So,
Yeah, everybody's subbing to you. That's excellent.
are you keeping watch? What's it up to now?
I have to go back and see. Let me go back and
Oh,
check.
okay.
Right now we have 17, Dirtbath.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Christy was the 4th.
Yeah.
And
Bill
yeah.
says he was the 3rd.
Yeah. Right.
So
And then we
you're
see
kicking it tonight, girlie. Good.
Sandy and Steadfast have been there. Let's see here. Angela says number 11. Yep. Bill said he was 3. All right. Okay. Very good. And Desiree just subscribed. So, yep. All right. Very good. We're happy to help.
I truly
right.
do thank y'all.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Very nice. I don't remember what the rules were when I started this channel. I thought it was more than just having 50 subscribers. I thought my requirements were more rigid. I thought there was more I had to do. I think they reduced that to.
Well, I know I've tried to go live and it said I was able to do it through StreamYard, but if I didn't have no followers or subscribers, that nobody would see when I went live.
Mm-hmm.
So it would make it as I go live, but nobody ever joined.
Yeah, nobody would know. Yeah.
Yeah. And it said that I had to have 50 before I could actually, be on YouTube and do it.
Okay, interesting. All right. Linda Flanagan says, "I feed the homeless cats Friskies dry food. I hope I'm not hurting them." No, you're not hurting them. So, as they're probably not feasting on dry kibble like my fat cat here in the house is. So, all right. And Jamette is in the house, says hi. Bill Cook says, "What is FIV?" That was feline immunodeficiency virus. So it's the cat version of HIV, or, it could potentially become feline AIDS. It usually doesn't, though. Not transmissible to humans, though. So go ahead and adopt yourself an FIV positive cat. Well, you have another cat, so you probably don't want to do that. Yeah, you don't want to do that. But if anybody does not have a cat, is looking to get a cat, don't rule those out. They need
Interesting.
some love and some homes too. And Coach Angela Mullins is in the house, and Brian Airy says, "Hello, everyone." That is the end of my starred comments. I just wanted to catch up there for a bit. All right. So yeah, I do fish. Not a lot. In my adult life, I've barely fished, but I did take my kids fishing. When I was a kid, I used to do all that stuff because that's the way my parents, or my father in particular, raised me. So he had a boat, and we'd go out fishing on the reservoir and go camping and fish from the shore, catfish at night. It was a lot of fun. But then when I grew up and became an adult, I just got swept up in distractions. So distractions that you probably want to keep your children away from. So that's the kind of stuff that I got swept up into. Now I got a family and kids and tech junkie and run a business and it's hard to find time to do all those kinds of things like fishing. So and now my kids are grown and they don't have an interest because now they're out swept up doing their thing too. I got a 24-year-old and I got a soon to be 20-year-old and yeah, they're all about there hanging out with their friends and getting engaged and things like that too. So
A responsible member of the community that you are, Bob.
What's that?
A responsible member of the community you are.
Oh, well, I do try to be that. So, but I remember my dad hunting deer, and it was good. We always had venison was delicious, and he'd always try and be funny. I remember one time he came home with a deer in the back of his truck, and he told me that it was Bambi. I was a little kid. Like, this is Bambi. I'm like, oh, okay.
Oh, it brought back memories.
Yeah.
I used to watch Bambi
time,
and cry as a kid, and my dad said,
yeah.
"Oh, she'll never be able to be a hunter."
And then sometimes I think about that too. Like I said, hunting is on my bucket list, but then I could just picture myself like, oh, look how cute. When I get to that point, could I do it? I think I could, but
I was the same way.
Here. We feed them here. We take fruit that's that's beyond what we want to eat. Been around too long. We take corn, just same kind of corn you would buy at the feed store. We like to put it out on the table and feed our local deer. So they'll come out and chill in our backyard.
Yep,
and yep. And they're very fun, beautiful creatures to look at. So we got one, and they're having babies right now. So we got a mama and some babies out there. So, and they get used to my dog too. So my dog herding dog will try and run them off the property, and they know that the dog won't go past the property line, and because she's well trained. So they'll literally run just over the property line, and they just turn around and stare. And the dog will run right up about a foot away. And then be like, oh, why aren't you running anymore? It's pretty funny. And then another time, my dad brought a deer home and he said it was Rudolph. And I was like, no, it ain't, Dad. I was like, its nose isn't red. And he said, well, that's because I had to take some charcoal and color it black because it was glowing and I didn't want to get pulled over. So and I was like, oh wow, that's kind of convincing, but
Yeah.
But I wasn't that naive as a kid. Let's see here. Faith, Fuel, and Footsteps. Right now I'm doing a few videos where I chat to myself. My neighbors probably think I've gone nuts. And I upload those videos to my Google Photos. From there I download it and then I can upload it to my channel. All right, so you're using your phone then. Very good. I know a lot of people work on their phone and it does really well. I work on my computer. I like to use DaVinci and but I usually during the course of editing a video, I gotta shut it down and restart it multiple times because I run out of memory. So I'm thinking about trying Adobe Photoshop instead.
You are a techie.
I am, yes. Yeah. So I program my own websites. I edit my own videos. So I have a server, that I host websites on, and this is all just a hobby. So I run a couple communities. It's online.
I just hit the plus button on my cell phone and I get in the car and drive and talk. That's my extent.
Bob, I missed it. I'm sorry. Did anything come of the not so nice visitor the other night? No. They were on for probably 0.5 seconds, and when I ended the stream a couple hours later, I unlisted the video. I unlisted the video on YouTube and then went to the editor and I found that point. It was at the 59-minute mark, and I edited it out. And then once I edited it out, I then made the video public again. So you can't. So now when you watch it, it just skips over that part. And then I had to delete the copy on YouTube. I'm sorry, I had to delete the copy on X and delete the copy on Facebook because I'm unable to edit those. So yeah, it's gone. It's nothing you want your eyes to see because unfortunately, it's something that my eyes will never unsee. It was grotesque. So
Absolutely.
All righty. Very good. And that's why I was a little that's why I'm cautious now when I see someone who I haven't seen before show up backstage. I'm like, okay, this got me last time. So, yeah. And one time I was fooled into thinking it was Jeff too. We had that happen once before.
I remember that one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. Someone used a screen cap of Jeff. I literally, and it literally had his name down there, just like it's on the screen now. And I was like, oh, okay. He finally
They took
made
a
it.
screenshot of it.
Yeah. I was like, oh, okay. Hey, Jeff's going to join us. And I as soon as I added him to the screen though, changed camera views and put something else up there. So it wasn't Jeff. So
People have nothing better to do with their lives.
right. That's why I was like, I got to see a wave, a peace sign, something, because not getting fooled on the still image thing again.
Yeah, it's understandable. I've tried to join a couple live streams and they would block me when I tried to join, and then I'd put in the comments, I was like, it says everyone's welcome, and they're like, well, we don't know you.
Yeah, and I've actually had very good conversations in the past, with people who jumped on the screen and they didn't have a camera on, and they didn't even have an avatar like you do of a pet or anything, and we actually had a really good conversation. So I became very comfortable with it, but that got exploited last week. So
Well, see, I would keep my camera on, but I don't want my kid to run past, and I don't want her to be on it.
mm-hmm.
I don't want her on the internet at all.
Right. Yes, I understand. I have some friends like that. We used to, we would hang out and go to Cedar Point and ride roller coasters and stuff like that. But they were very clear, like no pictures of our kids on social media. They were
and I can't predict if she's going to run past any time, and I don't want to take that chance.
Right. That's fine. That's completely okay. So, all right. Very nice. Well, we are at the end of our comments here. So, anybody else wants to join us? Let's remind you here on Monday nights. Let me copy this here. I'll post the link in the chat. If you're watching on one of the other platforms besides YouTube where it's pinned, here's the StreamYard link. You can click that link and join us on screen using your device and tell us about how your extended weekend went. Ooh, an error occurred on Facebook. Okay. I wonder if they cut us off. And tell us how your carnivore plans, if you were able to stick to your diet, if you had to deal with family, or if, like most of us, it was just another day of rest and relaxation into yourself. Or did you feast? So feasting, there's nothing wrong with feasting, by the way, as long as you're feasting on the right stuff. So if you think about traditional hunter-gatherers, they feasted whenever they had a successful hunt. Imagine when they had a large kill, such as a mammoth or a bison, a deer, like we've been talking about tonight, or a wildebeest. So that whole band or that whole community got to eat abundantly together, and the meat was shared widely. And it had to be eaten, unless they had a means of preserving it, which there were ancient ways of preserving it. But usually when there was a big kill, it meant time to dig in and dine, and you'd eat until you couldn't eat anymore. And they wouldn't just eat the muscle meat; they ate the fat, the bone marrow, the organ meats, and everything from nose to tail. And these provided, calories and nutrients, and they ate as much as they could, because sometimes you didn't know when the next meal was actually coming. So
they would pig out on it. One of their favorite things on a fresh kill would be to take the liver and eat the liver raw, fresh out of the animal. Before they do anything else, they'd split it, take the liver, like Plains Indians. They'd split the gallbladder open, and they'd pour the bile out from the gallbladder over the liver and eat it. Little tough for me. I don't know that I could do that, but and then if they kill the calf, they like to take the calf, open up its stomach, and get the curdled milk out of it, because it'd be almost cheese-like consistency. You get the curdled mother's milk out of the stomach and eat it. And then just for a snack, they take some of the intestine out, and they'd sling it around their necks and chew on it while they were riding, wherever they were going. It was just a chewy snack for them. Mm-hmm. So yeah, they definitely ate nose to tail. Dirt Bath, do you keep any of the organs off of your animals?
Hearts, liver, and we've tried other parts, but wasn't our favorite. So
yeah,
we stuck to the hearts and liver.
I do hearts and liver for sure, no doubt, and I'll do kidneys too. I like the kidneys. In fact, that's what I had for supper tonight was heart.
And then you think about how our type of feasting contrasts that of the feasting of our friends and family and most of the people out in the world. They feast on all these carbohydrates, and then they're bloated, they're tired, they got to have that nap or that food hangover, and they're just lethargic the rest of the day. They just want to lay around, maybe watch sports or something. But what happens when we feast on fat and meats? We get more energized. So we don't have that. We don't have that. Slumber, sleep, zombie-like state that you get when you pig out on carbohydrates. So life's all about choices, and we also always want to try and make the best choices we possibly can.
And look at how much money we're saving and not going down the Frito-Lay aisle and putting all that garbage in our carts.
Garbage. I like that.
Garbage.
I like that, yeah.
Yeah, no, that's true. Some people are mentioning, well, 6 months ago, it was the price of eggs were kind of high, and right now, yes, beef is kind of high. But even still, I'm still eating way, way less expensive on a carnivore diet than I did back when I was on the standard American diet.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm still saving money, even with the rise in prices when it comes to beef. And eggs are back down to like normal now, but beef is a little elevated. I find advantage at the club stores like Costco and Sam's. Yeah, Sam's Club. I have a Sam's Club membership. So
I'm gonna have to find a place like that because beef is way too expensive where I'm at. I cannot afford 2 little steaks in a package. Is $34 in the store.
Ooh, wow.
Yeah, so
And
like New York strips were quote unquote on sale for the holiday, and they were still like $13.97 a pound. So we got two of them that were at least a pound, and we dropped $30 on New York strips. So that's a little high right now. And someone mentioned their burger was costing $7-8 a pound for ground beef. I can still get it for 5 to 6. So
it's still $5.46 here for a pound of ground beef.
right. Yeah. So I can get the grass fed 1 pound packages. They sell them in a 3-pack with 3 squares of beef. And
Yeah, Aldi's
that's like
I don't know if
18.
you guys have Aldi's, but Aldi's also has real good prices on beef.
Yes.
Yes, they do.
we
Yeah. Yeah. We have an Aldi's here too. Yeah. And then if I want to get, if I can get the bulk, like 5, 10, or maybe even larger pound, rolls of ground beef that are 80/20, I can get those I think they're in the upper 4s right now. So I usually buy the 1 pound wrapped packages of grass fed just for the sheer convenience of not having to bag it myself, once I open it. So yeah, I still find it to be cheaper than when I was buying, dressings and sauces for everything. And
Right.
I could buy a bag of Doritos for, $5 and I can inhale those and then still be hungry, because they're not satisfying.
I would imagine the people that struggle the most are the ones who are in the carnivore journey by themselves, but they got a whole family to feed, husband, kids, whatnot, because they're still wanting to eat the standard American diet. And here you are just wanting to eat meat. And so I can see where that could really up your food bill. If everybody was eating the way you were, then it would be cheaper because you're not buying all that what did you call it, Jerry?
Duck food or carb? Oh,
Garbage.
Garbage.
Garbage, yeah. You wouldn't be buying all that garbage. And that's sad because you go through a grocery store and you look and you'll see the person walking along and they're hanging on to the handles of that cart, and they're barely walking and you can see they're generally younger than you are and they can barely walk and you can see the inflammation in their body. They just look terrible and your heart goes out to them and you look in their cart and see what they've got. And they got fruit drinks and they got fruit and they got cereal, they got bread, they got chips, they got all that garbage.
Little Debbie's.
Yeah. And you want to reach out to them so bad, but you really can't. You want to evangelize to them, but you can't do it unless they strike up a conversation.
Brian asks, do you guys have the Kilt's Mighty Tribe coaching course? So yes, I took it. I have a certification. So I am a certified Kilt's certified health coach. So, and so is Jerry.
Yep.
And probably a lot of people that are in the chat. So
Angela Mullins, she's in the chat.
Mm-hmm.
She's a coach.
Yeah, there's a lot of Kilt's crossovers here. So
Right.
for sure.
Bill Cook is one too.
Mm-hmm. Bill Cook asks, I know many break a fast slowly. Do you think our ancestors broke their fast slowly or didn't worry? I think they probably didn't worry for the most part, unless they had an extremely long fast, then maybe. So,
now,
Jerry, do you break your fast slowly or do you?
40 and then I break it slowly. I'll have a bone broth for breakfast and then maybe 1 egg lightly cooked for lunch, just slowly, because it was 40 days until my body gets accustomed to it. But if I eat too much, then it's disaster pants and I can't do that.
Yeah, my longest fast has only been 48 hours and I've never had any issues just jumping right back in and eating what I want.
Right.
Yeah, mine's been 40 hours and so I don't think it really matters, except if you go for extreme extended periods of time, then you might want to break it in slowly.
Right.
So, all right. Let's see here. Desiree's saying good night. And when she left, you were at 20 subs. Dirt Bath. All right. Coach
Much
Angela Malone says,
appreciated.
discount code for the KMT coaching course. Yeah, you know what? I haven't asked for one yet, but yeah, usually a current coach can possibly give you a discount code for the course. So, all right. I wish I could find some fresh calves liver. Yes. Go ahead.
I was say, has anyone tried the keto diet?
That's how I started. I started with keto first.
I tried the keto diet and my hair started falling out to the point that my hair is probably about 3-4 foot long and it started breaking. And I constantly had the taste of blood in my mouth.
Yeah, so I transitioned from low carb to keto to carnivore.
And look at Bob's hair; it's gone. Sorry, Bob. I just had to do that.
Mine was gone long before then. So, but yeah, no, I've and then now I'm 97% carnivore or carnivore-ish or whatever you want to call it. So, I don't need any processed. I don't need any ultra processed food, but I will occasionally have a plant product. So, like if you were listening at the beginning of the video podcast tonight, I said that on Saturday we had a karaoke party and everybody brought over something. Now I stayed true to carnivore, except for someone did bring a fruit platter over, and I snuck a few strawberries. That's like the only plant I'll have, for the next week or more. So I don't, that's just the way I am. I believe I'm not anti-plant, but I'm definitely, anti-plant based. I'm meat based. I'm carnivore centric for sure. So
I know I once went to a gathering and I didn't realize how everybody was so influenced by the internet at the time. And I got there and I was expecting steak and chicken and all the good proteins. And their main protein was tofu. I turned around and left.
I don't blame you.
Yuck.
I tried tofu once. It didn't go well.
I did too. And it felt like as they would say, like a mom bird chews up their food and spits it in their baby's mouth. That's how I thought of tofu. And from then on, I tried my best to like. I couldn't
like plain tofu. Back when I would consider eating stuff like that, like 10 years ago, 20 years ago, probably. Because that would be, relatively low carb or keto friendly in small doses. There was some that was like marinated. So it was tofu that was marinated or seasoned. And of course, that was okay or tolerable, but that was due to the marinade and the seasonings, not the tofu itself. If you just got plain tofu, it was absolutely horrible. So, yeah, I have zero interest in tofu. Of course, now I have zero interest in tofu, being a carnivore. But
right.
Yeah, I never saw what the appeal was.
They say it takes on the seasoning of whatever you're seasoning. So if you're using Indian spices, then it would be, what is it? Bean curd, soybean curd?
Yeah.
No.
So once again, you don't need to be eating, soybeans, and especially if you're a male, you don't need all the estrogen that it puts in your body.
Right.
So, there's that. But, I've got a theory that was taught to me by my son. If you've got to put a bunch of stuff on something to make it palatable, you don't need to be eating it. I don't have to put nothing on my meat to eat it.
Well, it looks like Brian passed the KILTS test.
Yeah, I just saw that. Yeah, so it sounds like we're all fellow coaches.
Good on you, Brian.
Very
Good.
nice. Sandy Blythe says her limit is $10 a pound on steak. You know, we actually went from New York strips down to top sirloin, and it was like $10.98 a pound. So, and it's less fatty. You gotta have that with some butter.
Well, I'm gonna tell you right now, if it's, you know, I mean, my beef is cheap just because I raised my own, but I don't have any calves I'm raising up right now because you talk about price of beef being high. Try buying it on the hoof right now, man. It is high. I'm waiting for a deal, or I'm waiting for prices to come down because I don't have any calves right now.
I know my dad went to one of his buddies' house who had a cow, and they was going to get it butchered. He said, "Oh, if you want a quarter of a cow, you know, this is the price," and it was $800.
Wow.
And my dad got it. I mean, it was good,
Yeah.
but I told him, I said, you know, that amount of price, I mean, that should be illegal to pay that for something that you raised and you fed and you put all this time and effort into, and you still have to, like, I couldn't imagine that was his own cow and he still had to pay the rest. That was a quarter of a cow.
Wow.
You mentioned quarter cow. Let me look at this. I have a local rancher, and you used to be able to get a quarter cow for less, or half cow, size of cow they call it. Used to be less than $4 a pound, and then it was up to like $4.29. You see what it's at? Oh my gosh, yeah, it's up to $5.49 now.
Good night. Ooh.
$5.49 a pound for the sides of beef. $5.79 a pound for for hind quarter. That's interesting. Yeah, and then the grass fed is $6.29. Well, that has really gone. Yeah, that has considerably gone up. So, but you're getting 400 pounds of beef when you do that. And you're getting steaks and burger and organs and everything. So
that all he got was a few steaks and a couple rows of hamburger.
Yeah, that ain't right.
this is
And they took it to the Amish to get processed. And I even told my dad, I was like, we've been to that same Amish place when we take our deers, and we have a big doe, no guts. Like, it takes 2 grown men to pull her out of the woods. And the meat they give you back is almost a shoebox full.
Wow. Oh, somebody.
Yeah, it sounds like they're keeping some of it back. Of course.
Well, too, you don't even get your own deer back most of the time. Like, you take a young buck in there, and most of the time you're getting back old deer.
Well, I know in our case here, you take a deer to the processor, you'll get your meat back, most of it. But if it's made into sausage or hamburger, it's going to be mixed with other deer, because they can't do an individual grind, for an individual customer. So they pick one day of the week where they're going to do one big sausage grind or one big hamburger grind.
Yeah.
And when they do that, they're putting everybody's meat in there. So there's no telling what you're getting when it comes to that.
Yeah. Well, see, with our round steaks, we told them we want the round steaks from our deer.
Mm-hmm.
And they said, okay, that's a $15 fee just for have it from our deer. It was a young doe. We got the meat back, and you could tell instantly it was not a young doe. It was tough. And
they were going to charge you $15 for the whole processing, or just to cut up round steaks?
Round steaks that is from particularly your deer.
Well, that's ridiculous. That's absurd.
So what I told my husband, I said, hey, I can do it myself.
Yeah, if we take a deer to a processor, we take it in there, and it's generally one set fee for processing the deer. And then if you want, and that's just cutting it up however you want it cut up. And if you want a burger or sausage, then there's an added fee for that, usually by the pound, because they're going to add, fat to it, and they've got to buy the fat.
Yeah.
So, plus, it's a lot more work, processing sausage and burger. But yeah, boy, I don't believe I'd be taking my deer to the Amish. They're charging me like that. That ain't right.
No, it's what I told my husband. I said, get me a good saw. I said, I'll get them round steaks off myself.
You bet.
Mhm.
Or for that matter, just debone the separate muscle meat, and just make smaller steaks. They don't have to be round steak.
Dirt Bath, Sandy asked if you have a garden.
Oh, yeah.
There you go, Sandy.
I gotta have a garden. I love vegetables too much to not have a garden.
Duma Meats. Is that in your neck of the woods, Bob?
Yep. Yeah, it's about 20 minutes down the street. So it's carnivore's paradise. You can go in there and get any animal and that you can think of: the elk, the deer, the bison, pig. So, but yeah, that's what they offer here. You got your hind quarter, 200 to 250 pounds. Your regular one, 549 a pound. But you get all those. You get so many steaks, so many stews, so many soup bones, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And then down here you got, if you want it grass fed, it's a little more. So, yep, you can even go down there and you can actually go down there and point at the cow you want.
Yeah, we name ours.
Do they ship, Bob? Do they ship?
Well, I don't know, because for me they're right down the street, so I'm not sure.
Yeah, Bill Cook asked that.
Mm-hmm. Oh, let's see here. Yeah, I really don't think so. Yeah, there's 2 stores, one in Hartville Flea Market, one then a standalone store, and then yeah, that's it. Curbside pickup. So yeah, they don't. I don't think they ship at all. They don't do any like internet sales.
Not like Butcher Box.
Yeah, not like them. Anybody do Butcher Box? I don't know what kind of value that is. Is that a good value?
Well, I think so. I always buy the basic box. It's $179 for the 6 your choice basic box. And then I get the deals added on to that. So Friday, I had 4 humongous boxes delivered to my house. All the freezers are full in my house. I think it's good because Eau Claire is 40 miles one way from my house when I go shopping. And I remember I worked the 12-hour crazy second shift hours, all the hours. So the less I have to go to the store, the better it is. So for convenience sake, I like it. For supplemental, I agree with I was going to say dirt bag. That's not correct. Dirt bath.
I'll just tell you my first name, okay? My first name is Stormy.
Stormy, excellent. Aldi's is a go-to for me. Other than that, I'll stop there and shop.
Yeah, Aldi's has some great meat quality and great prices.
And if you go there and let's say the package is marked today's date, if you bring it up to their attention, they will discount it. You'll say, even though it's still good for today's date, they will discount it for you. Just bring it to their attention.
I never knew that.
Mm-hmm.
Breeze asks if I'm in Ohio. Yep, absolutely. I'm in Northeast Ohio, close to Dumas. So very nice. And then let's see here. Cranky Carnivore Cutler says our Safeway has 80/20 ground beef for $3.99 a pound. Good deal there. That's almost half the price of what some of these other individuals have been saying their beef is on the chat tonight.
Mm-hmm.
Linda said, I did 2 years on keto prior to finding carnivore. I find that that's kind of like the way it goes. You know, a lot of people, they start on keto, they learn about carnivore, which is like, you know, keto max, and then they progress to a carnivore diet. So very good. Yeah, a carnivore diet for most people actually is a keto diet. So unless you are, you know, freely consuming milk and yogurt and other dairies that have the natural milk sugars in it, then you're getting some carbs that way. So, which I do from time to time. I've actually I've added yogurt to my diet here on occasion. So when I first added it, I was eating it every day. Now I'm just getting it every once in a while. So
Remember what happened to Peter with his yogurt obsession that he had?
I don't know. I know he said he was having some yogurt every night after dinner. That's the last time we talked about yogurt a few weeks ago. That's what Peter said, Papa Carnivore. Yeah.
It was putting on the excess pounds for him, so then he had to back off of it.
I had to quit making my own yogurt. You know, I used to make my own, and it was a heck of a lot better than what I could buy in the store. Definitely better for you, but man, it just tasted too good. You know,
he was having his.
I'd eat too much of it. And I finally had to quit it.
He was having his after dinner. You know, like
Yes.
I was having mine with breakfast. So I'd have my sausage, maybe some eggs, and a cup, literally 1 cup of yogurt, and then I'd go about my day. And so then I could work all day and burn that off. You know, so.
Stormy, do you eat dairy?
Every now and then.
Because I was wondering if you think it stalls you. Sometimes how we were talking even about the Greek yogurt or the yogurt that we make in an Instant Pot, that has a tendency to stall me as well. Like the cheese I ate today, that may stay in my system and the scale may not budge, but ooh, I had cheese. I still was on plan.
Well, I know that yogurt is really good for women's health. And the only way I can eat it is if I freeze it. And then once you freeze it, it kind of degrades some of the values that you're trying to get from it, the nutrients.
Yeah.
But I can't do yogurt just on its own. The texture bothers me.
Like a pudding. Now, Jeff, do you strain yours so that it's Greek yogurt a little firmer?
No,
Regular.
no. I go ahead and even when the whey separates, I'll mix the whey right back into it. I don't go with the Greek. It's too much trouble.
Gotcha. Instant Pot, Jeff?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I do it in the Instant Pot. You know, I incubate it for 20, 24 hours, something like that, you know, and it's good stuff. I always wanted to try the Rooteride, but the Instant Pot won't keep a steady enough temperature for the Rooteride, and I don't feel like buying a yogurt maker just for that.
Right.
Ooh, someone's setting off fireworks out here.
Already?
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, it's dark on my end. So.
Oh,
My neck of the woods, they don't shoot off fireworks.
it's gunfire.
You hear that popping, somebody's out there shooting.
Same here.
Yeah. Yeah,
And even then, we don't mind.
and I'd much rather be shooting because they're generally shooting at at a tank dam or something, or at targets. I'd rather have that than them shooting off fireworks because I can't stand fireworks out here in the country. Man, you can set the countryside on fire, with fireworks. Now, of course, fortunately, we had a good rain last night. In fact, we got an inch and 6/10 rain last night, so nothing was going to burn today. In fact, that's why I was able to get out and burn 3 big brush piles today. Just because it rained. I had a hard time getting them lit, but boy, once I got them lit, and I didn't have to worry about countryside burning down.
Hmm. I know I live in a flood zone. We've been flooded about 7 times.
Ooh.
And now I'm talking all the way around the house and having to be rescued out down an old log trail.
Wow.
But we bought land, so now we can be up on a hill if we are able to get up there.
There you go.
Isn't that where our vice president is from? Your neck of the woods, Stormy.
Actually, he's from Ohio, I thought.
No, well, originally from Appalachian Mountains, I believe.
Well, Appalachian Mountains, like
Judy
they go a long distance.
You're talking about
Fine.
J.D. Vance, right?
Yeah, J.D. Vance. Yep.
Yeah,
I think his house is here in Ohio.
I've heard about him all the time.
I could be wrong. I'm not into politics, so I don't follow it, but I believe that's what I
I think
heard.
he had his foothold where Stormy lives in that neck
Mhm.
of the woods, and then he gradually migrated up to Ohio.
Could be.
Maybe that was Grandma then that went up there. I don't know. I didn't see the movie or read the book, so I don't know.
Breeze says that they're in Northeast Ohio also. Hartville's about a half an hour away. So yeah, that's like exactly describes my location. So, which is I'm in the Kent Akron area. What's the name of that meat store? It's called Duma Meats. It's on Mogador Road. Oh, wait a minute. It's not on Mogador Road. It's in Mogador. Let me go back to it. It's dumameats.com. It is. Oh no, well it's okay. It's in the main place is in Mogador. They also have a little store inside the Hartville flea market, Hartville kitchen area. But yeah, they're in Mogador, Ohio, on Randolph Road. So you're probably real close to that too. All right. Holly Springer says Aldi's appears to add natural flavoring to their ground beef. It's actually not unique to Aldi's. A lot of supermarket beef, entry level, the stuff that's like prepackaged, like in the logs and stuff, is going to contain it. Small amount does not have to list on the ingredients. The fat has some discoloration after cooked off, where 100% pure is clear. Yeah, that is actually usually like rosemary extract. So it's basically there to kind of preserve the color and stuff like that. So yeah, that's probably for me. That's not going to make or break me eating the beef though.
No, do y'all believe in like natural remedy type stuff?
You bet.
Yep. Yeah. I mean, some of them I think work and some of them don't, but yeah.
Yeah, raw honey and garlic and eating onions, raw onions and stuff like that, boost your immune system.
Yeah, I personally won't eat any of that stuff now because I believe that my diet, just eating nothing but meat, fat, salt, and water, provides all the nutrition that I need. There's only a few supplements I take as far as like vitamin D with K2 and some magnesium glyphosate. But there's one thing I've started doing here lately, and it was Kurt Meathead turned me on to this. A video from Dr. Berg was talking about how to prevent blood clots. And here a few weeks ago, I had a pulmonary embolism. And my lungs, I got a bunch of blood clots in my lungs. And so Kurt, he's a friend of mine. We chat offline all the time. And he sent me a video from Dr. Bird, and Dr. Bird was touting the benefits of organically grown pure cacao and how it opens up the arteries. It about a tablespoon a day, it opens up the arteries, helps the blood flow, and helps prevent blood clots. So I've started taking that as a natural remedy to help prevent blood clots. Because I'd rather do that than go on than be on medication.
And what is that again, Jeff? What name? What is the name?
Cacao.
Cacao. Just plain cacao.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah, it's just organic. He recommends the organic style of cacao with nothing added into it, just straight cacao, and a tablespoon a day. And since I weight train and everything, I also take creatine, so I'll put it in my creatine mix every day and mix it up. It's my wife's using it too, but she's using it because she likes the chocolate, and it's a little bitter, it's not sweet. So it's a little bitter, but I'm taking it as medicine, and so far doesn't seem to be hurting me none.
I definitely have to check it out. My mom died of a stroke, and I'm constantly worrying about blood clots.
Yeah, look into it.
And I have a heart condition myself, so I'm always worried about that stuff.
Yeah,
And of course, we're not we don't give medical advice. We're just speaking from
but if it's natural and you guys see benefits, I will try it.
The best benefit I found, I have a heart condition myself, which I believe I've reversed because I haven't had any symptoms in 3 years now. When I was having symptoms every single day, I had atrial fibrillation, and I reversed my atrial fibrillation. I haven't had a symptom in 3 years now. And it's just because I went strictly meat, fat, salt, and water.
Well, I went into AFib a few times, and I knew that when I did go into it, it's because of my diet at that time and my stress.
Stress will do it.
And then I do have a question. You guys probably know a lot about beef tallow, right?
You bet. I make my own.
Okay, well, someone gave us beef tallow, and I put it in a crock pot, and I let it go all night. And the next day, and then I strained it real good, and I put it up, but it stinks.
Okay. How long did you cook it?
I cooked it, I'd say about 10 hours on low in the crock pot. My crock pot's real slow.
Yeah. Well, it shouldn't have overcooked then. Because I'll cook mine. I'll do mine on the stovetop. The stovetop, I think, gives me better results. I've tried the Instapot before, and it doesn't seem to get all of it out the way I like it, but it didn't stink.
Well, see, I was told you're supposed to put some salt and some water in it. I didn't do nothing. I done exactly what the old farmer guy who gave it to us said.
Yeah.
Put it in a crock pot, 10 to 16 hours, real low, leave it alone. Don't touch it. That's what I did. But then I got it out, and it stinks. But is it still safe to eat, like use?
I don't know. Man, that's hard to say. Mine doesn't stink. So I don't know what to tell you. Now I cooked some one time too fast, and it came out with a smell to it, but it wasn't a bad smell, and it was still edible.
Well, it smells kind of like deer fat, which I enjoy the smell of deer fat. I don't know why, but
deer fat. There's a lot of people don't like deer fat because it can be a little rank to some people.
I don't eat deer fat, but I do use it on my skin because my skin busts a lot in the wintertime.
Yeah. What I would do personally is if the smell isn't bad to you, it doesn't smell like it's gone rancid or anything.
No, it don't have like a sour smell. It don't have like an egg smell. It just stinks.
Go ahead and try some of it, cook you some eggs in it and try it. And if it doesn't make you sick, you can still use it as long as you can tolerate the smell. If you don't mind the smell, I just don't understand why it turned, why you got that smell, unless it's the source of the fat.
Well, too, the whole time I was cooking in a crock pot, it had this like sweet smell, like maple syrup.
Huh. That's odd.
And it smelled great. And I was like, well, maybe the cows was fed, some type of sweet feed or something, because that's what it reminded me of.
Well,
I was cooking longer.
Awesome.
Well, I've seen videos saying cook it again, but add water to it.
That's what Bill said too in the chat. He said add water.
Well, the water deal is all right. When I'm cooking mine, I do mine on the stove pot on the stove top in a big pot, and I'll cut up the chunks, inch size or so, and I'll put them in there, and I add water to it. But what the water is to keep the fat from sticking while it's cooking until enough fat is rendered out to where it will lubricate itself and it won't stick to the pot. And then the water will cook off and it's not an issue.
Oh, okay. Because I got a lot from the pack he gave me, and I keep I look at it every day, and I'm like, I don't want to throw this away.
Yeah, well, I wouldn't. I mean, if nothing else, I mean, if you don't like it, if it doesn't taste good to you, if you can't get past the smell, then my dogs would darn sure be eating it. They wouldn't turn it down.
Yeah, I took all the rendered fat that look like pork rinds, and I
Oh,
took that and I froze it, and I give it to my dogs for treats because I couldn't bring myself to eating it.
Oh, I eat mine. I eat mine like cracklings.
Ooh.
Yeah, I'll take that. I'll take the rendered out fat, and I'll freeze it. I'll bag it up in the small bags, and I'll freeze it, and then I'll get it out, and I'll make a treat out of it. Sometimes I'll refry it, to get it crisp, and other times I'll just take and heat it up and put a little salt on it. Eat it just for a fat snack. It doesn't take much.
I got a whole bag full of it. I just been feeding it to the dogs here and there because I would just seeing it was like a jelly blob.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's what the crock pot or an Instant Pot will do. It breaks down the structure of the fat more so than cooking it on a stove pot. The problem with cooking it on a stove pot is you got to monitor it all the time because you got to constantly be going in there and stirring it all the time.
Yeah.
That's the downside to doing it. But I have better success on the stovetop than I do in a crock pot or a Instant Pot.
I wanted to do it on the stovetop, but I knew how it would take a lot longer, and we was busy, and I didn't want it to spoil before I got it cooked down. So that's why I threw it in the crock pot.
Yeah, I don't think it. I keep my temp under 200. Around 200 or a little bit under. Use a thermometer to keep track of it, and I don't think it's going to go bad. No matter how long it takes, really. I suppose you could overcook it for too long.
I think I did. I tried making a batch and it just and I got impatient and probably had turned up the heat too much. Because then when I was done and I put it in the containers, it's got a burnt smell to it.
Yeah. Yeah, you cooked yours too fast. It's got to be a slow process.
Well, see, mine didn't have a burnt smell, but while cooking it, like I said, it had a maple syrup smell, like sweet. But then after I strained it and stuff, and I put it in a bowl, because I put it in the fridge, because that's what the old farmer guy said, put it after it cools, put it in the fridge, and it'll stay for at least 6 months.
Yeah.
Oh, I'll take, when I make a batch, I'll can, I don't know, anywhere from 6 to 10 jars. And I'll keep one in the fridge and the rest of them go in the freezer. And I keep one out on the counter that we'll use every day.
Yep.
Because it's not going to go bad. We use it up fast enough. And the one in the fridge is just waiting for when the one on the counter gets used up. Here lately, I don't have any out. I don't think we have any out because we're using so much bacon fat.
Mm-hmm. That's what we only use as lard.
Yeah, what was I cooking? I cooked up a bunch of bacon for some reason. I don't remember. Oh, when I got my air fryer, I cooked up a whole bunch of 2 or 3 pounds of bacon. And we're still using that lard. There's a bunch of it.
Well, I noticed my kid and my husband, their vitamin D is always so low. And I was thinking, it's kind of weird. I know that when you have thyroid issues, it can cause that, but neither one of them has ever had any thyroid issues. So I started trying to experiment with different things, and I said, I'm gonna ditch vegetable because that stuff ain't good for you. I said every time I cook in it, I get sick, and everybody else got an upset stomach afterwards. So I said, I know nobody wants to do it because they think it's bad. I said we're gonna switch to bacon grease. I said because the world's made us think that bacon grease is the worst thing for us.
Right.
I switched to bacon grease. Both their vitamin D levels have been boosted.
There you go.
Absolutely.
Animal fats is the only thing you know. Animal fats, animal proteins. That's all you need.
Yeah,
Do you
vitamin D
take-
is a fat soluble vitamin, so having more fat.
Well, my kid's doctor said, "Oh, lard is awful. It clogs your arteries. You cannot use that stuff."
Yeah, all our doctors say that, and they're all ignorant.
I said, growing up as a kid, that's all we lived off of, and all of us was healthier than everybody else.
Well, you got to look back to our grandparents. Our grandparents, they lived off of meat and fat.
Right. That's what I was thinking is they didn't have no
and fresh
vegetable oil back then.
No vegetable oil. Yeah, absolutely.
That stuff's nasty.
That's a recent invention, relatively speaking.
Yeah, it goes back to World War II or World War One.
Yeah, so the early 1900s.
Yeah.
Nobody was eating vegetable oil prior to that.
Stormy, if you're taking a vitamin D supplement with oil, of course, make sure that you add some K2, vitamin D3 and K2.
Yeah, that's the one I take.
Yeah, K2 as in the number 2, not 2 as in also.
Well, see, I don't have low vitamin D, but my kid and my husband do.
Get them out in the sun. Summertime's coming up.
Well,
That's a good point.
the
It's been
doctor said,
a
get
rough
out in the
winter.
sun.
Yeah. Rough winter, rainy spring. It could be getting out and getting some sunlight this summer. It could be a huge boost.
We're always outside, but I don't know. My husband's always had low vitamin D, and it's weird. And I told him, I said, "Did you have it when you was a kid?" He said, "No." After we switched from, our eating habits, we went to olive oil instead of lard, and started eating processed meat instead of what we killed. Is when all their vitamin D's. All his brothers are that way.
You were asking Stormy about the healthy channels. There's a girl named Laura Russell, Russell. She's got a fabulous channel. Her channel is either by her name, Laura Russell, or Healthy Carnivore. She is excellent about giving advice and supplements, the natural stuff that you would find wonderful. She just did a video today. She does it every Monday, a live video, and I think you will like her.
Well, yeah, definitely. You guys have already taught me so much.
Yep.
Opened my eyes to so much.
Laura Russell. And then she should be on maybe tomorrow, or no, she was on last week. Rick is on tomorrow on the Carnivore, Russ's channel. What's Russ's channel's name?
Homesick Buckeye.
Homesick Buckeye. He comes on Tuesdays at 7:30 Central, 8:30 Eastern time. Homesick Buckeye. His name is Russ. Another good show. He's more of the comedic. But definitely check out Healthy Carnivore, Laura Russell. You'll like her.
I definitely will, because I'm trying to. I'm the cook, I'm a stay-at-home mom. I'm the one that cooks every meal. I'm trying to do better cooking style for my family.
Sure.
And I'm trying to learn different things to help them, and we're all meat eaters.
All right. Well, this is definitely, you're on the right path, being meat eaters for sure.
Yeah, it's just the oils and all that stuff we're trying to figure out, the best path. We're doing, lard right now, bacon grease, and that beef tallow. I'll try it out tomorrow myself, and if I get sick, I'll just use it as like hand cream or something.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, feed it to the dogs. They'll be able to handle it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, the animal fats, the the bacon grease, the beef tallow, butter and ghee are good options. Those are all acceptable. So
Ghee
try
is
and
so
avoid
expensive
the
where I'm at.
corn oils and the soybean oils and then
Hey, Jeff, do you have, Brian is asking a question, Jeff, do you have a YouTube channel? No.
No, I've kind of thought about it, but I'm not computer literate in any sense of the word. I mean, I've got a laptop that I'm on right now that I inherited, and I barely know how to use the thing. I do much better with my phone, but I've been asked this many times. Why don't I start one? And it's like, I kind of get to thinking there's so many of them out there. There's so many carnivore channels out there. Do we really need another one that's just going to be saying the same thing everybody else is saying? I don't know. Although when I look at the way I cook a lot of things and what I cook, I'm thinking I can add stuff that other people aren't doing, and maybe I could take y'all on a hunt sometime.
Yeah.
Show you some of the things that I do. But, I don't know what I can get away with on YouTube either. When it comes to my hunt, could you see me process a deer? Could you see me harvest the organs? This kind of stuff. But yeah, I think there's, sometimes I think about it, but if I do, it is going to be so rank amateurish. Because I ain't going to edit. It'll just be done on my phone. And I know there's people who've been successful doing it. I don't know. Maybe someday, maybe I will. I don't know. But right now, no, I don't have a channel.
all right. Sandy says Peter gained 20 pounds from yogurt and blueberries. Papa Carnivore returns. He had Greek yogurt for dessert. I know we talked about yogurt the other day. I know he likes to have yogurt for dessert, but no berries for the past 3 weeks. So
Excellent.
might have been a berry culprit there either.
Yeah.
If you were doing yogurt and berries every night for dessert, I could see that being an issue. But
like I said earlier,
it ain't gonna hurt nothing. So
yeah, Papa wasn't or Pete wasn't here earlier, but I mentioned Pete, if you're still around, I had berries for the first time in 3 years. Because we got berries coming in right now on our back fence. We got a berry vine back there, berry bush, whatever you call it. And they're popping out blackberries right now, left and right.
all right, it is 10:42. Here's the link to join us on screen if you want. Probably got about 15 to 20 minutes left. I'm going to hang up the hat at about 11 o'clock. So that's your last call. If you'd like to join us on screen, go ahead and click that link. Did I paste it? Yeah, I did paste it.
Yep.
Okay.
Facebook
all right. Good.
and YouTube.
Yeah. All right. Papa Carnivore for dinner had a giant USDA choice bone-in New York strip topped with mulled and smoked sea salt flakes and a big old side of cold butter chunks. Sounds delicious. Very good. All right. That's the end of my starred chats. Let's see here. Let me go back to the regular chats, see if I've missed anything. Yeah. Yeah, Russ is on tomorrow night. All right. Jeff, if you ever want to try and shoot a video, and I'll help you edit it. That's because I'm a
I might do it someday. We'll see.
All right. Let's see here. Cranky Carnivore Cutler only berries I can pick from the plant and not from a commercial grower. I last had some early August 2024. Yeah, so I mean, I'm not particular, but I do grow my cherries and my apples in the backyard. So, and they're just tiny apples too. They were kind of good for almost nothing. It's especially two of the trees. So they're a little bigger than a crab apple, but nothing huge. The farm behind us used to be a apple orchard farm, 25 acres. I knew the people that owned it. I knew them since I was a kid. They used to own a putt-putt golf course and a bunch of other properties around here. They're gone now, and now they're building a housing development, unfortunately, right in my backyard. But yeah, so I think they mostly took those apples and made cider. I think that was one of their big things, was making apple cider with it. So, and but yeah, I'll eat something like that once in a while. So Charger Mopar says, I haven't bought any fruit in decades. He's got fruit growing around his property too, by the way.
Yeah, he grows bananas and all kinds of stuff.
Right.
Mangoes.
Speaking of bananas, this is kind of interesting. We found out that my son cannot eat bananas for some reason. And we found it out by mistake. But a couple weeks ago, we left for work one morning, and he grabbed a banana on his way out. And then during the day, he started feeling really sick, and he asked to be taken home. So I took him home, and he just crashed, and he felt sick all night, all day and all night. And around midnight, he ended up vomiting. And then the next day, he still wasn't feeling himself, so he took that day off too. But then Wednesday, this was Monday, Tuesday, now it's Wednesday, he was like, okay, I feel better now. I want to go back to work. He works with me. And so he grabs a banana on his way out, and about an hour later, he's like, you need to take me home. Took him home, and he threw up, and then we're determined that it's the banana. So, and we're going to test, we might test this theory in like another month or something, but nobody had a bug. He didn't seem to have a bug. And as soon as he cleared his stomach, it seemed to be okay. But we looked it up on the internet, and yeah, it could be an intolerance or an insensitivity to something in bananas. It's a legit thing. So
Interesting.
yeah. Yeah.
I could see a green banana.
Yeah.
It's a green banana.
Yeah, it's strange when, when you find out you do have a sensitivity to something like that, when like the majority of people eat them just fine, So, but yeah, he's, like I said, I don't know if he might not be brave enough, because he really thinks it's the banana now. And we did some internet research that kind of backs it up. I don't know if he's willing to try it again. Like I said, the way to really confirm this is to wait about a month and then have a banana and see what happens. But he might not want to even risk it. So,
do you buy the organic ones, the ones from Costco, organic without pesticides on them?
Yeah, I know what, my wife buys them, so I don't even know what they are. So we get them from Sam's Club usually. Mm-hmm. So, yeah. So, but he really thinks he's really made this connection. He strongly feels this like the banana. Wow. And could be. Oh, look at that. Rick says, apples destroy me. I've almost passed out from them.
Wow.
And store-bought bananas make me sick too. Get lots of gas and diarrhea. So, yeah, that's interesting. So, could be a thing.
One thing you'll learn, Stormy, is Rick, we're referring to, we call him Charger Mopar. He has been doing the carnivore diet ever since he was a late teenager. So it's 40 some odd years, 43 years, I think. And he has not gone back and what he calls duck food, eating the standard American diet. He sticks to carnivore predominantly, 95%, I would say.
Yeah, he's like me.
He's a bit of a hunter himself. He's an urban hunter, Stormy. He hunts parking lot chicken and iguanas along the canals.
Duck too. Duck.
Oh yeah, and Muscovy ducks.
Since age 15.
There you go.
All right. Yeah. Good night, Angela. Sleep tight.
Angela.
Thanks for joining us tonight. All right. Yeah. Let's see here.
That's very interesting.
And he says he was a small, pardon this, my language, runt of a kid. He was very small. And then when he went carnivore, he's now 6'6", tall, lanky gentleman. And his hair does not have a strand of gray in it.
Nope.
Hmm.
Yeah, he's kind of a test case for the carnivore community of what we all could have been if we'd have been smart like him.
I was gonna say, I wish I went carnivore back then.
Yeah.
So I could stand to have a few more inches in height and my hair.
And then there's a lady.
My wife likes my white hair, so
I like my white hair too. I love it. I don't dye it, nothing. People think it's blonde, but it's white gray like yours, Jeff. I love it. I love it.
I'm 27. I ain't got one just yet.
Yeah, you're young.
But if I do get one, I'm not going to be mad about it. Because I heard a quote when I was a kid. We all get to be young, but we don't all get to grow old.
that's true.
And I've thought of that my whole life. Anybody ever mentioned, oh, I don't want to get gray hair, I'm going to dye it. I was like, be proud. When I first get I'm going to pray that's to the world.
Mm-hmm.
Like, look at this. This is what I want. That means I've made it past a certain, error in my life.
I started getting my first grays at 22. I just remember like 3 strands over here, 3 strands over here, and I had dark brown, almost jet black hair. I thought it was kind of cool at the time.
Well, see, my husband's 41, and he's only got a couple in his beard, but nothing on top. He's got a full head of hair.
We just grayed early. My wife said that she started getting grays at 14, and I believe it because our daughter started her first grays came in at 13. My son had his first grays at 14, and now my daughter's 24 now, and she lives in Georgia, but she just came up the other week, and she's letting her hair grow out, and it's actually quite mind-boggling how much gray she has at only 24. And with my son, you can flip through it and look for it, and my son's got quite a bit too, but it's not enough to where like you can't see it from a distance yet. You got to really get up close and inspect, So
it's just odd how we're all so different. My wife's 65 years old, and she's still mostly dark-headed. She's got some gray, but she's still mostly dark-headed, and she doesn't dye her hair.
Right.
I know I was brushing my niece's hair, and at the time she was 9-year-old, and I was finding straight, like white as it could be in her head. And I told her mom, I was like, that's quite odd. And then my niece said, it's my brothers, they're stressing me out. I said, oh, okay, that makes sense. But it was weird seeing that in a child's head. But it's definitely not uncommon. But I got like dirty dishwater blonde hair. I wouldn't even be able to tell if I had any grays.
Oh, you look lovely. When I saw you pictured for a brief moment, you look like a lovely lady.
I appreciate it. I don't agree, but I appreciate the compliment.
Sandy is talking in the chat that man, Rick Charger Mopar we're speaking of, he has a Saturday morning live from 8 a.m. So she's saying, come and join us, Stormy. He goes live every Saturday from 8 a.m. until I think 1 in the afternoon, because then I go live at 1 o'clock, or mine is 12 Central.
I'll definitely have to subscribe to all of y'all, because I think this is the type of people I need to be friends with.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
You want to be part of a community.
Yeah, I don't have no social media. All I got's YouTube. I don't have no friends from out of anywhere. I'm not influenced by none of the new stuff.
Yeah, because we will support you. We'll do anything we can to help you, because we're all in this together. We use the term tribe to describe ourselves, like Kilt's Mighty Tribe. And that's basically what we are. We're a tribe, because nobody out there does what we do, and nobody out there thinks that what we're doing is right, you know. And so we're kind of off by ourselves in this, in our own little group. And so community is very important to us. It's what keeps us going.
I can definitely tell you guys have a very strong community, because I've been on so many live streams and I have never seen like, from the comments to y'all's communication together, I've never seen a live stream so connected.
Well, one thing
Yeah.
about it, like I said, we support each other, and we don't judge. You know, like you said, you have a garden. Not one single person judged you for having a garden just because we don't eat vegetables. You know,
Yeah.
Because you know, for the most part, we've all been there. No sense in us judging anybody for anything.
Yeah, I like, when you get your meat and stuff, I like to add cayenne from the garden for garnish, or do a tomato puree on top with some habaneros.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and you know, we're firm believers that's your choice if it works for you. You know, I used to have a nice garden until I went carnivore, and I gave up my garden, gave everything away that I had, and my wife said, "Well, you know, you can still grow vegetables and stuff for the neighborhood, you know, for your neighbors, you know, because you know you do like to garden." And I said, "No, if I'm not going to eat it myself, I'm not growing it for anybody else. They ain't paying me to do it. You know, I'm not working for anybody else. I'm retired. I ain't doing that no more."
Yeah, too. I have a kid, so a young kid, trying to inspire her to eat better, and
Well,
she
and
can't
that's
do
one of the
100%
things-
carnivore diet at
And
the
that's one of the
time.
things I'm sorry, that's one of the things that we advocate, Stormy, is eating whole foods. You know, it doesn't have to be just straight meat like some of us do, you know.
Mhm.
You're eating whole natural foods that you're growing yourself. That is healthy. It's healthier than going and buying that stuff at the store that's got glyphosates sprayed all over it, you know, and GMO. Now, when I had my garden, almost everything I grew was all heirloom stuff. I didn't grow GMO stuff. It was all heirloom.
Yeah,
It was harder to grow, but it was better tasting and better for you.
it's 100% understandable. Like, I'd rather see my kid walk around with a cucumber and a salt shaker than a snack cake.
You bet. You
Yeah,
bet.
absolutely. Yeah.
And I
absolutely.
will admit, I do miss my tomatoes. My homegrown tomatoes, you know, they were fantastic. You know, I grew some really good Cherokee purples, you know, and some others.
I know all of them. Them are good.
Yeah, they are good stuff. But and I miss them, or used to miss them. I don't miss them so much anymore. I've gotten over all the carb addiction. But the only reason the reason I quit was I wanted to get off of everything that was toxic to my body, and vegetables are toxic to the body. And I needed to heal. I was in desperate straits. I needed to heal something fierce. And when I learned and realized that vegetables provide no nutrition for my body whatsoever, that I can get all my nutrition just from eating meat, and all the vegetables would add toxins to my body and cause inflammation, then I quit eating vegetables just because they provide no nutritional benefit to my body. You know, so yeah, I could have kept eating tomatoes, but they weren't going to do me any good. So I just chose not to eat them anymore. But that was just me. You know,
Yeah.
Now, of
everybody's
course,
going to do what's best for them.
yeah. Now, of course, if you have a diet full of, cereal and candy, then that tomato is actually going to be more nutritious than the cereal and the candy.
Yeah, that's why I try to
Yeah.
get my kid to lean
Yeah.
towards, something way better for her.
Right. Yeah. No, and that's good. So with kids, I think that the diversity is good, so I believe in eating fruitage. Now, when I say fruitage, The reason I say that is because a lot of things that we call vegetables are actually fruits.
True.
You know,
Yeah.
like a tomato or a squash or a pepper or something like that. You know, so it's the fruitage of a plant. You know, I don't mind once in a while. I think a lot of these, I'm still in the spices and seasonings and garnishes. You know, like if we have I didn't tonight. Tonight was a beef fajita night. Sometimes when we have a Mexican night, I might take a spoon of salsa and put on my taco as a garnish. To me, that's no different than shaking the salt shaker on it. You know, and but I didn't tonight, and so, and with a kid, yeah. So, you think about what they're up against. I don't know if you send your kids to a public school or you
Nah, I
got a lot of,
homeschool my kid.
okay.
Good
Or
for
you got
you.
the influence of family, there could be not eating right, but you want them
Hey.
to make wise decisions. You want them to choose, the cucumber or the blueberry over the Snickers bar and the Skittles, so,
Yeah,
you know,
that's and too. I will tell you something personally. I did when my kid was a baby. When I was in school, I went to a nutritionist because my weight was really like awful, and I had a heart condition and all this other stuff that was going on, high blood pressure. And she said, "Quit drinking pop or soda, as people call it." So I did. I lost 75 pounds from quit drinking pop.
mhm.
Yep. I believe it. I believe it.
So as a parent, all I ever did, because that's all I ever wanted, was water. So my kid only drinks water.
Very
And
nice.
that's fantastic. That's all we drink. And here's the thing. When it comes to your kids, let's go back to the Proverbs where it says, "Raise up a child in the way they should go, and when they are old, they will not depart from it." You're building a foundation, and that foundation will always stay with them. That doesn't mean they're going to always be pure and strict, and they're always going to follow what they were taught, but they can always come back to it. My children were raised with a good foundation. They very healthy. We didn't keep soda waters, Cokes or anything in the house. We didn't indulge in candy or anything like that. My kids didn't know what candy was until one time when they had to go spend some time with a babysitter, and all of a sudden they found out what candy was.
Mm-hmm.
But with that being said, when my son started working at the feed store, when he was 14 or 15, I forget which, I guess 15, he started working at the feed store and making his own money because he was working to save up enough money to get a car or a truck. And boy, he discovered them Cokes. Man, it was Katie bar the door. That boy couldn't quit drinking them damn things. And he was taught not to drink them. Now he has since, repented from that. He doesn't drink them anymore. But when he got that first taste of them, he spent a ton of money on it. He was drinking them things all the time. Now, not around the house, but he was on the job. So, you build your foundation on them as best you can do for them. And I think you're on the right track. You're doing a good job with them from the sounds of it. And I like Cranky's comment here. And I got to admit, I don't give up my jalapenos. That is my fruitage right there. When I make my carnivore nachos, there's going to be a couple of slices of jalapeno on there. I'm a Texan, and I can't give them jalapenos up. Sorry.
I love peppers myself, especially habaneros. That's my weakness.
Yeah, I like my habanero. I like all my peppers. I don't eat a lot of them, but I will indulge once in a while, about once a month. And jalapeno poppers, oh man, got to have them.
All right, very good. And I think that if you're eating the majority of your diet carnivore, eating something else that's a whole food, one single ingredient whole food that's all natural is okay. So
I'll tell you a little story here real quick about peppers and eating meat and all this kind of stuff. So friend of mine lives about, I don't know, an hour from me. Him and his boy was out hunting along the river, and they shot him a turkey, and it was just a day or two before Thanksgiving. So they took the turkey home, they plucked it and everything, dressed it out, and so they're going to have a wild turkey, a real grand turkey, serve it up for Thanksgiving. And did a beautiful job baking it and everything, and stuffing it and all that. And they went to eat it and they couldn't eat it. The meat was so hot they couldn't handle it. Because it turns out along the river there were wild pepper plants, and them turkeys had been eating them wild peppers. And it just soaked right into the meat and they couldn't eat it. Now me, I probably could have eaten it because I eat some hot stuff. I eat some hot peppers, but
Oh, no.
his family couldn't eat them. That was funny.
Oh, wow. That's interesting. So, seasoned.
Turkey's like a chicken, monogastric. You are what you eat.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You are what you eat. Yeah. Very good. All right. Very nice. Well, is anybody else ready for bed?
I have to work like a normal person tomorrow.
All right. Yeah. It's 11 o'clock. So we've gone a little bit over time, and that's okay.
It's been a good discussion, and it was great. It was great meeting you, Stormy. Sure glad you joined us.
Yeah. And Stormy, if you feel like you want to come back next Monday, you're more than welcome to. You got a bunch of subscribers tonight, so I hope that helps you out, and you get to your 50 subscribers soon, so you can start live streaming and whatever other your YouTube ambitions may be, you'll be able to achieve them. So,
Right.
all right.
I truly do appreciate all of it, and you guys have inspired me to do better, eat better.
All
That's
right.
what we're here for, darling.
It was good to meet you, Stormy.
It was good to meet
Yeah.
every one of y'all because
Nice to meet you.
I really needed to hear. I got some great advice, and I'm gonna
Yeah.
stick to it.
Oh, and you shared some great stories too, so we enjoyed having you on. We really appreciate it.
Well, I appreciate it. Good night to all y'all.
All right.
Good
Good
night.
night.
Good night.
All right. So yeah, if you want to stay on, we'll talk a bit backstage when we sign off. But in the meantime, everybody, thank you very much for those who joined us on screen, and thank you for all of you who participated in the chat, asked good questions, told us about how your weekend went, and that you were able to fight the fine fight, stay true to your carnivore lifestyle or ketovore lifestyle or whatever it is that you are currently doing that's on the all natural and probably low carb spectrum of things. Keep up the good work. We love you all, and we'll see you next Monday. Take care.
Good night, y'all.
Bye-bye, everybody.